Awesome. Welcome, everyone. It is Saturday morning, and we know what time that is.
It's Metalheads
Time
Unite
for another
time.
episode. Yes, sir.
Good morning to everybody out there listening live in the United
So, man,
States.
what and elsewhere.
Yeah. Good afternoon and good evening to everybody else.
Yeah, wherever you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
And it
say an
could be good morning.
all-encompassing good day.
It,
Yeah.
it could be good Sunday. It could be good Sunday morning to some, I guess.
Yeah, it actually could. Yeah, now that you mention it.
So awesome. So, man, it's been a rough week for the metal industry. But how was yours?
Well, I mean, I'm not or was not previously in the band Cinderella, so I'm pretty much doing all
All
right.
right. Yeah. So that's a
Yeah.
as a that's just a wild thing. Golly.
Yeah, it was like two deaths within what, at least one day of each other, maybe two. I can't remember the
Uh,
exact timeline
e-
this week, but yeah, it was like one right after the other, man. So yeah, unfortunately, we've got a couple more. Like Jason said, we got a couple more deaths in the metal community this week. Let's see, leading off
if
over
you
at
if you haven't
blabbermouth.net.
if you
Yeah.
hey, if you haven't noticed, it's kind of hard for me to get centered with our new little logo in the middle. So.
Right. Just keep doing one of these. Keep doing
Yeah.
this. And then kind of do this. And be like, where am I at?
We ready to kick this thing off? Or?
Oh yeah, man, we're live, we're rolling.
Well, let's jump into our normal process here, and we'll actually kick off with some birthdays, some good news, I guess. Well,
Yeah, a
I guess
little bit of good news
some
first.
cases, I mean, because
Yeah.
sometimes there's a lot on here too that passed away, but still like to recognize those people because they played a role in the heavy metal industry. So
That's right.
actually
We celebrate life. That's right.
actually had a little bit over a page too. It's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah. So let's kick it off here. July 11th, we had John Lawson, British rock singer for Lucifer's Friend from 70 to 76, and then again from 81 to 82. Hey, and then again from 2014 to 2021. So he spent a couple of little stints in that band.
Yeah.
He was also the vocalist for Uriah Heep from 77 to 79. He unfortunately passed away actually earlier this year. I think we covered that at some point,
Yeah,
but yeah,
we covered it last week. Yep.
yeah. So then we had Richie Sambora, guitarist for Bon Jovi, uh, which was crazy because I think we just did a story of history last week where his guitars were stolen. So he got his guitar stolen like right before his birthday.
Oh, that's a pretty shitty birthday present.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right. Uh, July 12th, we had Eric Carr, drummer for Kiss. Unfortunately, he passed away in 1991. Uh, Philip Taylor Kramer, bassist for Iron Butterfly from 74 to 77. He unfortunately passed away in 95. John Petrucci, he guitarist for Dream Theater. Uh, Jesse Pintado, guitarist for Napalm Death. He unfortunately passed away in 2006. Then we had Sharon Den Adele, singer songwriter for Within Temptation. July 13th, we had Mark the Animal Mendoza, bassist for Twisted Sister. We had Bobby Rock, drummer for Nelson, Vinnie Vincent Invasion, Hardline, Alcatraz. He'd been in a few. Uh, uh, Damon Johnson, guitarist, vocalist, songwriter for Thin Lizzy. We have Mark Barney Greenway, vocalist for Napalm Death. Hey, Napalm Death getting some love on the show this week.
Yeah, they are.
Stephen J. Brown, guitarist for Trickster. I'm probably going to kill this name, but it's Juiced Van Dan Broek. keyboard player for After Forever. Um, July 14th, Tommy Motola, uh, and he was a music executive for Casablanca Records.
Oh yeah,
Responsible
okay,
for
yeah.
responsible for a lot of early rock and metal. Let's see, I'm probably going to kill this name too. Joss Zoomer, drummer for Vandenberg. Um, and this one I had to make sure I gave these guys some love. It's Yomi, but real name is Jun Chiba. I know I'm killing these names, but he was a Japanese vocalist for Nightmare. Uh, give our Japan metal scene some love there. And we
Oh yeah,
this
they've got a pretty decent metal scene over there. Yeah.
yeah. So this is one that I was telling you about last night that had a little bit of a story with it. Chris Steele,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Chris Steele is the bassist for Alex is on Fire. Um, when I was looking this up because I wasn't sure of what instrument he played because I'm not familiar with the band, but when I researched it, it did say that they you know they were a metal band. So I was like, okay, what does he play? So when I looked it up, I was reading some of the content there, and somebody described their music as the sound of two Catholic high school girls in a mid-knife fight. I thought that was a crazy. I was like, I've never heard anybody described like that. That's pretty crazy.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, makes me want to go check them out now, though.
Yeah, telling you.
uh, so we had July 15th. We had Chai Ching, bassist for Deftones. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2013. John Domayon, drummer for System of a Down. I probably killed his name too, but that's all right. July 16th, we had Alan Fitzgerald. He was a bassist for Sammy Hagar and a keyboardist for Night Ranger. So he played two different instruments in two different bands. Awesome. Uh, Ray Major, guitarist for British Lion. If you don't know British Lion, that is one of Steve Harris's side projects from Iron Maiden. Um, July 17th, Mick Tucker, drummer for Sweet. He unfortunately passed away in 2002. And then we close it out with Geezer Butler, bassist for Black Sabbath. And if you listen to him, the inventor of the devil horns.
False.
Yeah, right. Well, he might take credit for it, but we know the truth.
Yeah. Well, we think we know more of the truth than Geezer does. That's for sure.
Well, yeah. So.
Yeah. Not being 100% sure I know the truth, but I know that Geezer Butler didn't invent
it. Yeah, he didn't. All right. Well, that was my birthday.
That did not happen. Yeah.
Right. So happy birthday to all of those that I mentioned there. And if I missed anyone out there, apologize. Oh, I did have one. I remember I did say there was one more that got added or that I found after the fact.
Oh, yeah, you did find one last night. That's right.
Yeah. Let's see.
I can't remember whose it was, but yeah, we were sitting around the fire and you're on your phone. I was like, oh, I got to add that one. Yeah.
It was actually Joe Satriani. Birthday
That's
was on
it. Yeah.
July 15th. Man, amazing guitar player, so can't leave him out.
No, you cannot.
So anyway, happy birthday to those folks. And if I miss anyone else, happy birthday to you guys too. And if there's anybody out there listening that has a birthday, happy birthday to you. So
yes.
So with that, I guess we're going to kick off with news of the week, and a lot of it's not going to be good. So we might as well just go ahead and get that out of the way.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna lead with that. Unfortunately, this has become a that is getting to be a little bit more of a habit than we would like. But it's like they say, not all news is good news, and that is the case again this week. Over at blabbermouth.net, leading off this week, Cinderella guitarist Jeff LaBar has died at the age of 58. No cause of death has yet been revealed. According to Metal Sludge, LaBar's passing was confirmed by his son Sebastian. He wrote on social media, quote, "So I just got the call. Jeff LaBar, my father, my hero, my idol, passed away today. I'm currently at a loss for words. I love you, Pop," end quote. Jeff's father, Bob LaBar, also shared the tragic news. Quote, "We have been told that our son, Jeff LaBar, has passed away in Nashville," end quote, he wrote on his Facebook page. TMZ reported that Jeff's friends and family were unable to reach him for the past few years. For his wife, Debonique Salazar LaBar, found him dead Wednesday inside his apartment in Nashville. Cinderella hasn't released a new studio album since 1994's Still Climbing. The band started playing sporadic shows again in 2010, but has been largely inactive for the last few years, while frontman Tom Kiefer focused on his solo career. Back in 2016, LaBar accepted blame for Cinderella's prolonged period of inactivity, explaining that his quote-unquote drinking problem caused a rift between him and his bandmates. He told Another Effin' Podcast with Izzy Presley, "I can only speculate, but I believe it's all my fault. It's no secret that I've had a drinking problem, and it showed its ugly face on one of those cruises that Cinderella played. I guess that's what caused a rift. When I fell out on one of those cruise ships in front of everybody, like basically OD'd, that's when the band and mostly Tom took notice and was like, what the fuck?" Asked if he was sober at the time of the interview, LaBar said, "No, I'm not," which is probably the problem. Like I said, I can only speculate because I don't talk to the other guys anymore. I talk to Fred every now and then, and Eric, and then Eric lives 20 minutes from me. We haven't talked lately, but Eric and I have been the most consistent of all my bandmates throughout the past 32 years. It's just Tom and I that don't talk anymore, and I can only speculate that he's very disappointed and doesn't want to see me die. He doesn't want to win. LaBar went on to say that the touring lifestyle fed his appetite for partying all the way back to the 80s. He explained, quote, "I have a history. It's not just these past issues. I have a history of drinking and cocaine. In the 80s, it was cocaine abuse. In the 90s, it was heroin. I went through every cliche phase that a rock star could go through. It just wasn't highly publicized. I was arrested. I went through rehab. I did all the things Motley Crue did. I just didn't publicize it. I was Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses all wrapped into one. As a band, we tried to hide our dirty laundry, and most of our dirty laundry was me. We didn't try to hide it. We just didn't publicize it. We just didn't tell people, oh, yeah, Jeff's in rehab, Jeff's in jail, Jeff's in whatever. We just didn't publicize it. We actually kept it to ourselves. It was our family. It was our family business, and that's how we treated it." So, like it says at the very top of the story, no cause of death has been revealed yet. But based on the story, it may have been kind of an accumulation of the 80s and the 90s finally catching up to him, considering he was only 58 when he passed earlier this week. So, we find out any autopsy results or toxicology reports or anything else, we'll pass those along to you guys. We'll as far as those details are concerned. Yeah, Jeff LaBar has passed away at 58. And real quick, well, not real quick, I don't want to gloss over it like it's unimportant, but I'm going to piggyback off of that story. Then this takes me into the other one. Former Kiss keyboardist Gary Corbett has died after battling a very aggressive form of lung cancer that had metastasized to his brain and hip. Earlier today being Thursday, July 15th, his family released the following statement, quote, "It is with great sadness and the heaviest of hearts that the Cohen-Corbett family needs to let everyone know that after a hard-fought battle with cancer, Gary Corbett passed away last night on Wednesday, July 14th, 2021. Those who knew Gary know that we and the world of music have all lost a very talented, funny, kind, and gentle soul. The pain cuts so deeply that our hearts are bleeding. A memorial event is being planned. The details will come at a later date. Today is Gary's birthday. Please keep Gary and our family in your thoughts and your heart. Gary Corbett will be truly and deeply missed by all who know him. Lenora Corbett Cohen and Mindy Cohen." According to LA Weekly, Corbett played offstage keyboards and handled background vocals on Kiss tours promoting late 80s and early 90s LPs Crazy Nights, Hot in the Shade, and Revenge. Before that, his credits included co-writing Cyndi Lauper's top 5 hit VOP and working with the solo band of former Foreigner singer Lou Gramm, who recommended Corbett to Kiss frontman Paul Stanley. Quote, there seemed to be a trend in the 80s that bands didn't want the image of having a keyboard player on stage, Corbett told LA Weekly. The quote continues, some people think keyboards aren't as much of a rock instrument as a guitar. Gene Simmons is definitely of that mindset. At every sound check, if the sound man asked me, could you just give me a couple notes? Simmons would immediately put his hands behind his back and act like he was ice skating around a rink. In his interview with LA Weekly, Corbett recounted a particularly memorable experience playing with Kiss at the 1988 Monsters of Rock Festival. Quote, it was such a big show that big they had big diamond vision screens on each side of the stage, he said. So when the guys that were working the cameras on the side of the stage were roaming around and filming everything, I guess nobody told them that they weren't supposed to be filming me. So during Rock and Roll All Night, I'm standing there singing and playing and having a good time. And later I found out I was on the big screen in front of like 60,000 people, which I don't think made the guy happy. After Kiss, Corbett played with Cinderella until 2011. He also got a couple of Grammys for his work with reggae legends Damian and Stephen Marley. So, as we said at the top of the show, it wasn't a good week to have been a current or former member of Cinderella. I do know that I think it was last week or the week before last, we had mentioned Gary Corbett and the struggle he was having with his battle with cancer, and there was a GoFundMe page set up, and I think Jason, you had donated some money to it,
Mm-hmm.
which was awesome, good on you for doing that, and anybody else who may have helped out, you can keep doing that because I'm sure they will probably need help with funeral expenses and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So we can try and see if we can get that GoFundMe information. We can post it over at the Metalheads Unite Facebook page. But Jeff LaBar and Gary Corbett gone way too soon. And Gary Corbett's case, as always, fuck cancer. So
Right. Exactly. All right. Well, let's kick over into something a little. Let's change gears a little bit. How about
yeah, let's do that, please.
that?
Yes.
Yeah, my first story over here is coming from Kerrang. There's two official ACDC branded craft beers on the way, courtesy of Knuckle Bones and Cali Craft Brewing Company. The duo of beverages, ACDC Power Up Juicy IPA and ACDC TNT Double IPA, will be hitting select retailers later this year, with the two companies teasing that this is just the first in a series of ACDC branded beers, meaning may we suggest one beer for every single album, please. We are beyond excited to be collaborating with Cali Craft on a new line of craft beers for music superfans, enthusiast Tony Zimmerman, CEO of Knuckle Bonds. I don't know if it's Bones or it looks like Bonds Incorporated. Many of the bands we have worked with in the Rock Icons and 3D Vinyl series will be coming to the new beverage line. There's not a better band than ACDC to kick this off, adds Blaine Landberg, CEO of Calicraft Beverage Company. Quote, over the years, we've always stood for collaborations that go beyond beer. We value community and the arts. As music enthusiasts, we could not be more excited to work with our friends at Knuckle Bonds and some of the most influential and groundbreaking musicians in history. Our collaboration is inspired by the band and is designed to be paired with their music. Great music and great beer, there's no better pairing. End quote. The Power Up IPA, named after the band's latest album, has flavors of bright passion fruit, ripe peaches, and juicy mandarin, while the old school TNT contains an explosion of fresh cut grapefruit, sweet mango, and fresh pine. Um, so, if drinking too much of it will still get you on the highway to hell.
Was that in the story or was that yours?
That was actually just an ad lib. So,
Ah, very nice.
mm.
Very nice. I like that.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sharp this morning for not being up at my normal time. So I was actually rushing in to get this thing running this morning. I was like, oh shit. But
Yeah. Well, good
yeah,
on you for
so
throwing that one in there. I like that. That was very smooth.
So yeah, go out and get you some ACDC branded beer when that comes out. Like I said, I don't know exactly the areas of the retail that it's coming out in. So just be on the lookout. I guess. I guess if we find out anything other than that, I guess I can provide some follow ups later.
Yeah, it'll probably be on the same shelf with Iron Maiden's Trooper beer.
Yeah, yeah. Well, honestly, with unfortunately with America, like a lot of the European countries are more uh, probably uh, I would say probably more uh, keen to get those than we are. So
Oh
uh,
yeah, probably. I mean, they're probably. I mean, Iron Maidens is probably, and I don't know this for sure, obviously, but Iron Maidens is probably brewed over in the UK, and who knows if I seriously doubt it for logistical purposes. But I mean, you would guess that ACDC would probably have their beer brewed in Australia, but who knows?
well, I mean, I think these companies are here in the states. So
Yeah. I would say that makes sense because, like I say, you want to if you want to try to brew a beer in Australia and then have to worry about the logistics of getting it distributed worldwide, that would be a nightmare.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, distribution purposes, you would probably think here or England or somewhere like that maybe.
Yeah, I mean the UK would be a lot easier than Australia, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. You just
All
put it in a
right,
paint.
well,
You can't just put like an order in a kangaroo pouch and have them hop it over.
no,
Uh,
no, you'd have to put the kangaroo in a submarine to get it, across the Pacific Ocean to over here. So yeah.
uh,
All right, let's see. Keep with blabbermouth.net. I actually have quite a wealth of information blabbermouth.net this week. For 127 years, Gibson has shaped sound across generations and genres of music, becoming one of the most relevant, played, and loved guitar brands around the world. Gibson has officially announced today being July 15th when this story broke, that Lizzie Hale, frontwoman of the Grammy Award winning hard rock band Hailstorm, will join Gibson as the female brand ambassador. The new collection will span acoustic and electric guitars across Gibson Epiphone. Hale has partnered with Gibson and Epiphone luthiers to design two sold out guitars, including the Gibson Lizzie Hale Explorer and the Epiphone Lizzie Hale Explorer. Today, July 15th, Lizzie was officially welcomed into the Gibson family as a brand ambassador on stage by Cesar Gakian, I think, band Gibson brands at the Gibson Garage in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Hale will also help drive the culture of giving back as Gibson Gives Artist Advisory Council, where artists present philanthropic opportunities that fulfill the Gibson Gives Foundation's mission of creating, developing, and supporting nonprofit organizations to advance musicians, youth-focused education, and wellness initiatives. Quote, I am beyond honored to be named a Gibson ambassador, said Hale. Ever since I was 16 years old, it was my dream to someday be a part of the Gibson circle. It's an incredible feeling to know that this dream has become a reality. Something magical ignites within me when I hold a Gibson guitar in my hands, the same guitars that my forefathers and foremothers of rock slung over shoulders. With Gibson, I am the rock star I'm meant to be. It is a privilege to represent my genre, my gender, and the incredible power of music that unites us all with my beautiful Gibson family. It's an honor to welcome, or that's an end quote. New quote, it's an honor to welcome Lizzie Hale as our newest Gibson ambassador, adds Geekian. Lizzie is an ambassador of music, not just Gibson, a powerhouse singer, badass guitarist, and an influential force in music. Lizzie is a trailblazer in every sense of the word. From early on in her career, Lizzie had a clear vision of what she wanted to achieve and put in the hard work to get there without compromising. She has and continues to pave the way for other artists, leading by example, breaking down barriers, and elevating Hailstorm into a Grammy award-winning band with a faithful fan base. Jenny Marsh from the Gibson Entertainment Relations team connected with Lizzie and Hailstorm when they began and recognized that Lizzie was a different, driven, and one-of-a-kind singer, musician, and performer. Since then, we have developed an ever-growing partnership that we celebrate today with Lizzie's new chapter as our Gibson ambassador. We are equally excited to have Lizzie join our Gibson Gives advisory board, where she will help us shape philanthropic programs and lead the way for artists across generations and genres of music. So congratulations to Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm. That's something that's very.
yeah, I mean, man, this is the first woman, right?
Yeah, very first female
That's that.
brand ambassador for Gibson guitars.
So she's etched in that for the rest, forever. So I mean,
Oh hell
that's
yeah,
a
man!
big yes, that's a big deal.
It absolutely is. No one, and even no matter what she does the rest of her career, no one's ever going to be able to take that away from her. That's a very
Right.
cool honor that they have bestowed upon her, and well deserved. I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm I know you're not as a huge Hailstorm fan as I am, but and it's funny as I never was as big of a fan until I saw him live. Because I'm just like I was so amazed at watching them live that I'm kind of like started following them a little more in depth. But they put
Yeah.
on a great show. So all right,
Well, that definitely helps. Putting on a good show.
yeah,
That helps. That
uh,
helps a lot. Way.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's you see so many like I'm a big In This Moment fan.
Oh
I know
yeah,
you
me
like
too.
In This Moment as well, and
Yeah.
like I've seen him in multiple. Actually, it's probably one of the bands I've seen the most. But I have seen them at some of these outdoor festivals, and to me, they're just not as good uh, in that setting. Indoors, oh man, they're one of the best bands to watch indoors, but outdoor, they're just not an outdoor band. And so you have those people that are like that. So,
Well, yeah, that's gonna happen.
yeah.
That's gonna happen.
All right. Moving on here. Let's see. Avenged Sevenfold have revealed that a random select number of fans who have the bands Into the Ether NFT will be getting meet and greets with them for life. The Huntington
Wow.
Beach Metalers, yeah, released the 101 of the exclusive tokens back in May, with 7 specifically having the attribute gold eyes. Taking to Instagram, they've now announced that those who have the 7 tokens will gain special access at future shows. If you have gold eyes, you get into the meet and greet at any show you go to forever. Um, all into all into the Ether NFTs feature previously unreleased music and artwork done by Cam Rackham. Speaking on the Danny Wimmer Presents Twitch channel last week, frontman M Shadows explained of NFTs and what he hopes to do with them in relation to the band, transcribed by Kerrang. Uh, Quote, I've been trying to introduce the NFT play to our fans kind of slowly. We released an NFT with some unreleased music a few months ago, but we gave it out for free so people can get used to getting online. And the interesting thing about it is there's different camps this all goes into, but they're almost like clubs of people. NFT grants you access into certain things. So what I want to eventually create, and we're going to create very soon, is a token that allows you to get no line into shows, free merchandise, free tickets for life, meet and greets whenever you want at the live setting. So all these attributes and traits are going to equal certain real world utility. No bands have really caught on yet about the important NFTs, non fungible tokens. If you don't know what NFT is, can be to the whole thing that we do. Imagine owning your favorite band's NFT and you have access to all these things you've never had access to before simply by having the token on your phone. End quote. You can watch that full interview with them Shadows discussing that at Kerrang. But I think that's pretty cool, man. To get backstage meet and greets for life. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I wonder how much, because I mean, I've seen a few bands prior to Avenged Sevenfold release these
Mm-hmm.
NFTs, I'm still not even 100% sure what the hell they are. And I don't know what the I don't I and that's I haven't done the research, and maybe I should have, because I know this is I'm sure it's going to happen more and more often. So I should probably look into it, so I know. So I basically know what they are and what we're dealing with
Mm-hmm.
when we report on them. But I mean, I don't even know what the hell the word fungible means. But I don't know. this is the first band I've heard of the few that have come out with these things that have had that amount of benefits to buy these things. I mean,
Right.
eventually talking about free tickets, free merchandise, and then to those particular 7 people, they can just show up at a show and be like, hey, I got this thing, I'm going backstage, and no one can be like, no, you're not. They'll just be like,
Right.
oh yeah, they're over there. So I mean, that I don't know what that thing costs as far as old was concerned, but to be
It
able
had it
to,
had to be expensive. I mean,
you
it had
would
to be.
think, you would think to get meet and greets for life. I mean, Jesus, So if like I say, I'll do some more research into what these NFTs actually are. But I mean, if this is something that's going to be like mass produced, as far as
Mhm.
some of these bands in the future,
I mean, it's
depending on
pretty
the
much
artist, that may be something I have to look into.
yeah. I mean, it's pretty much cryptocurrency for for rock bands. I mean, it's like their very own
Oh,
kind of like
okay.
yes, but it's
All
like their
right.
very own kind of cryptocurrency. Uh,
Oh, all right. Okay. I see. But yeah, it sounds like in the future there's going to be some hellified benefits to owning one of these things. So if that's the case, like I say, depending on the artist, that might be something worth looking into. Like, of course, if Metallica ever comes out with one, theirs will be twice as expensive as everybody else's. And
right.
then, but I mean, I don't know if like a band like, I don't know, like Machine Head or something would ever come out with something like that to where, you get to get up on stage and yell "Circle Pit" into the microphone or
Right.
something like that.
Yeah. And I think I don't know if you remember I did a Megadeth one a while back too. I think I did a
Yeah, I
Megadeth
remember. I
story on
remember
that
hearing about
back in
that one.
April, I think. So
Yeah, I remember Megadeth being one of the bands, but I don't recall hearing about having any extra benefits to owning the Megadeth NFT like the Avenged Sevenfold one. Like I
right.
don't know if Dave Mustaine's going to allow anybody a lifetime of anything for
Right.
free within
Right.
yeah. So, but I mean, good on Avenged Sevenfold. That's a cool goddamn benefit of purchasing that NFT. So that's very cool,
Yeah.
especially for the 7 people who have the one with the golden eyes. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah. I was trying to look on here
That's,
to see if they actually said anything about the cost of it, and
okay.
I don't see anything on there about how much it actually costed. Uh,
Oh, okay.
Maybe I can keep looking into it and
All right.
figure it out
Yeah,
before the end of the show.
keep looking that up here
Because I
in the
was kind
next
of once
little
you said
bit.
that,
Like,
I'm like, yeah. I mean, once you said that, I'm like, yeah, that'd be kind of interesting to know exactly how much it cost.
yeah. All right, let's see. Like I said, keeping with blabbermouth.net for a couple more. Due to international visa issues, Swedish metalers In Flames have pulled out of the Metal Tour of the Year, co-headlined by Megadeth and Lamb of God, and featuring special guests Trivium. Replacing them on the bill will be Hatebreed. Tuesday, July 13th, In Flames released the following statement, quote, "In light of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, we had to make the difficult decision to not join the Metal Tour of the Year. We were looking forward to playing for. This was an unbelievably hard choice to make. Thank you for understanding and your support as we all get through this unprecedented time. We have a lot of things in the works for 2022. More on that shortly. Stay safe, and we'll see you on the road again soon." Produced by Live Nation, the rescheduled The Metal Tour of the Year will now kick off on Friday, August 20th in Austin, Texas, and hit a further 26 cities before wrapping up in Quebec City, Quebec, Canada on Saturday 2nd. For anyone who's listened to the show in the past, that 26 cities was supposed to be 27 because Jason and I both had tickets to go see the concert when it came through Nashville,
Hmm.
but they canceled that show, so obviously we
Yeah.
got gypped out of that. Jason is lucky enough to be going to the Blue Ridge Festival in Virginia, so he's still going to get to see him, but I unfortunately will not.
uh,
So
yeah,
you
and
know,
while we're on the subject, and we got a lot of people that listen here. I just want to say, Ticketmaster, get your shit together. It's been over 60 days, and I still haven't received my refund from the Nashville show. So,
yeah,
Yeah.
I really wish there. I mean, I know there's a couple other avenues of acquiring tickets for concerts
Well,
and events like that. But I mean, Ticketmaster all but has the market cornered, and I think that kind of
right.
sucks to have to
Yeah.
have to depend on them because they got you
Well,
by the short hairs and they pretty
mhm.
much
Yeah. After this experience, I'm probably going to look for the other avenues when possible. I'll put it that way
yeah, yeah,
because it's just ridiculous. I think
yeah,
the thing that pisses me off the worst is you go on there and it says, if you have an event canceled, you usually get reimbursed within the 30 days, and it's been 60. And anytime you
yeah.
email them, you get the dummy response, the real robotic response. You
Mm-hmm.
call them, you call them. I've called them, and you don't get to talk to anybody. It just kind of gives you this bullshit about how they're shorthanded because of COVID and all that. Which I mean, it could be, but you could at least say, give me an option to hold to actually talk to somebody that is still working there. But they don't give you
Yeah.
that option. It just hangs up on you. And just and
Or
I think I'm more pissed about that part than anything. Is just like
yeah.
you're giving me. I don't like getting. Uh, I don't like getting the robotic answers. Or
Right.
or or even if it was live people, and you feel like you're getting a rehearsed answer. I don't like that. Look into
Yeah.
it. You can't. And let me know something. Because right now at
Yeah.
this point, I may be blaming Ticketmaster, and it may not even be them, but you're my
Right.
first point of contact, and I can't get past you. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, at least like I don't know, like if you've ever like here lately, like if you call like your cable company or like the satellite company or whatever, a lot of times, if they give you that all of our customer service representatives are busy, they've got like an option to where you can leave your number.
right,
They can call you. You stay. You keep your spot in the queue as far as the people who are calling in, and then when a customer service representative comes available, they'll just call you back, so you don't have to sit there on hold forever and a day trying to wait for
right.
an advisor or a representative. So they could at least do that. I guarantee you, Ticketmaster's big enough where they have the technology. They should be
Well,
able to have the technology to set that up.
you would think. So not trying to dog our ages or anything, but I remember as a teenager going and waiting at the record shop or whatever,
Yep.
whoever sold the tickets, and Ticketmaster was the go-to then. So you're talking 30
Mm-hmm.
years ago. So you've been around for over 30 years, and you can't figure that part out. That's kind of disturbing, but
Right. Yeah.
uh, so yeah, I
Yep.
mean, customer
I know.
service needs to be the number one, no matter what you're doing with stuff like that. I don't
You would
deal with
think.
customers hands on where I work, but I know that whatever I do affects the customer at some point, and you have to put that mindset there, even though you're not talking to the customer. You have to put that mindset there to make sure they're taken care of, so nobody else has to talk to them either. You know.
Right. Yeah.
So I got two. I'm just gonna like run together because one of them's kind of short. Um,
Okay.
or was it your turn? Hell, I don't even know.
No, I just it was just my turn. I was talking about In
That's
Flames
right.
getting
That's right.
replaced by Hate
Yeah,
Breed. So it is your turn.
yeah. Sorry, they got me on a rant, and I was like, just want my money. So, with Powerwolf having just dropped their killer eighth album, Call of the Wild, Metal Hammer is proud to team up with the German power metal legends for this exclusive bundle. The special edition of the magazine features an exclusive variant cover, signed art print, and a patch. Only 200 bundles are available worldwide, so get yours while you can. The issue also features a brand new interview with the band where they discuss the making of their epic new album and look back at almost 20 years of Powerwolf. That is over at Metal Hammer. If anybody is interested in that, um, feel free to go check that out and see if there's any available. with only 200 available, it might be out already. So,
Yeah, I'd be
um,
willing to bet they're gone.
yeah. So Judas Priest have revealed they'll continue their 50th anniversary celebrations with a mammoth limited edition box set containing 42 CDs, which I have never heard of that many CDs in a box set. Jesus Christ. Um,
Yeah, I think I
reflect
think I think mammoth is an understatement because I read that story too and I was like,
right.
holy shit.
I wonder what that's going to cost.
Yeah.
Reflections 50 years, 50 heavy metal years of music will include all the band's studio albums and live records alongside multiple discs of previously unreleased material. It's been restored and mixed by Tom Alam at La Cusina W8 and mastered by Alex Wharton at Abbey Road Studios. It'll launch on October 15th through Sony Music. Frontman Rob Halford says, quote, Judas Priest curated box set representing 50 heavy metal years is the ultimate treasure trove, defining the band's unwavering commitment to keeping and defending the heavy metal faith, end quote. Guitarist Glenn Tipton added, quote, if there's one box set you should have in your heavy metal collection, it should be this one. It's immortal, proclaiming and truly representing metal for over 50 years and flying the flag and proudly leading the way, inspiring many bands throughout the years, end quote. The packaging has been designed by Mark Wilkinson and it will include signed photographs of Halford Tipton, Ian Hill, Richie Faulkner, and Scott Travis, which were taken by photographer Ross Halfin. Each box set will also include a numbered British steel blunt razor blade, a book of memorabilia featuring photos, posters, adverts, and tour passes, a replica British Steel tour program, and a pair of replica tour posters from the British Steel 1980 German tour and the Defenders of Faith European tour from 1984. Um, to mark the news, Judas Priest have also released the Hellion Electric Eye, which was recorded live at the Summit in Houston in 1986. In addition to the 42 CD box set, Reflections 50 Years of Heavy Metal, 50 Years of Music will also be released as a single CD and double album. So you don't have to buy the whole box set, but you know, I would.
I was gonna say, why would you
uh,
not? Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
That's
if it's pretty affordable, I mean, I wouldn't mind. I figured at least 42 CDs got to be a couple $100, but
yeah, you would figure.
yeah, probably like
But
two
it's like
ninety
the
nine.
same thing, probably, but yeah, it's like when, the Black Album gets re-released later this year
Yeah,
for the 30th anniversary, you know, buy the whole thing. I plan on getting the whole thing. I plan on getting the entire box set.
right.
So yeah, if you're gonna buy it, I mean, buy the whole thing. That's my plan.
Yeah. Uh, I sort of apologize. It's like we're freezing over on Haps. Like me and you both are froze over there, so
Well, my feed has been a little bit laggy for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure why, but
well, like I said,
yeah,
I just want to
having some
apologize. So
having some technical yeah, having some technical difficulties, I guess, but hopefully everyone can still hear us.
yeah,
So yeah,
I
I'm
think
not
the
exactly
voice
sure
part,
what the
yeah, the
problem with
voice
that
part's
is.
fine. Yeah, the voice part's
Yeah.
fine. I believe
So
it's just the
yeah,
just the video.
just a
And
video. Well, it may not be all bad because I can't get this goddamn gnat to keep landing on my to stop landing on my nose. So I got a gnat flying around me. He keeps landing on my nose and keeps hitting me in the fucking eyeball, and so it may not be all bad if we're having video issues right
right.
now because I can't kill this damn gnat. So that's why I put it in a live chat. People are probably sitting when they can see me, probably sitting here thinking I'm having a seizure or something. I'm not. I'm trying to swat at a bug. So that's going on right here in my face. All right, he just landed on my hand. All right, my last story over at blabbermouth.net. In the ongoing Dave Mustaine, David Ellefson Megadeth saga, uh, comes the next chapter. Dave Mustaine says that there is no chance of David Ellefson ever rejoining Megadeth again. Mustaine, addressed the possibility of his longtime bandmate returning to Megadeth while filming a new video message on Cameo, which lets users hire celebrities to record brief personalized video messages about virtually any topic. Asked by Rockfeed if Ellefson could once again play with Megadeth at some point down the line, Mustaine said, quote, "Any chance on Ellefson coming back later on? The answer to that is no," end quote. Ellefson laid down his bass tracks on Megadeth's 16th LP on May 2020 at a studio in Nashville. A short time later, he raved about his performance on the record, telling 96.7 KCAL FM radio program Wired in the Empire that his musical chemistry with Megadeth Verburen was comparable to the interplay between Geddy Lee and Neil Peart on classic Rush albums. Let's see. A lot of this is actually rehash from a couple other stories that I've read. So I am going to save time by not reading through all that stuff again, because looking at it now, it's literally verbatim from other stories that I've talked about. So I'll cut this one short to save time. But basically, Dave Mustaine pretty much closes the book on David Ellefson as the bass player of Megadeth. So there you have it. No more David Ellefson in Megadeth. So that's where we're at with that. So let's see. Jason, looks like I may have lost Jason for a second. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. While I wait for Jason to come back, I am going to go over to metalsucks.net. One-time Anthrax frontman John Bush's goals of one day performing his material with the band live again are moving one step closer to reality, albeit a very small one. Bush, who made 4 albums with Anthrax between 1993 and 2003, has been teasing the idea since at least 2017. Last year, he said he was considering an entire solo tour revolving around that era of his career and was tentatively eyeing 2023 for it. And earlier this year, he again stated his desire to make it happen at some point. Now, in a new chat with Rock Talks, Bush indicated that things have moved forward somewhat, although it's the logistical challenges that have been scaring him off the task. He explained of the incremental forward motion, quote, "Some ideas are being explored right now regarding doing it in some capacity. So we're just trying to figure out the right scenario to make it happen, but it's becoming a very good possibility. For me, it would be a little bit difficult to put together only because I'm just really lazy. All I want to do is kind of do the singing, and I don't want to do all the nuts and bolts things about putting the band together and getting rehearsals and doing some of the business. That's the daunting part. If I could just go on stage and like, okay, I have to learn those songs again too, if I do. But there's all that stuff that's just a little bit different than just going out and singing, so we'll see." Bush added that he'd like for former Anthrax guitarist Paul Crook, who played on Stomp 442, which I think is an underrated album, Stomp 442, to be involved, and that the two have spoken loosely about it. "We will keep you posted whether the Bush Thrax tour happens in 2023, sooner, later, or never. Your Metal Suckers are huge John Bush fans, in case you didn't know, and Jason and I are fans of the John Bush era Anthrax too. So if this solo tour does go off and comes anywhere near Tennessee, I think we'll both probably be there."
Yeah, and also a big Armored Saint fan as well, just because.
Big Armored Saint fan too. Yep. Yeah.
So, all right.
Oh, just a quick update.
Yeah,
I killed the gnat.
Oh, well, there we go.
I killed the gnat.
Rest in peace, Nat. So,
we got another death to report. Yeah.
Well, that one's not as sad. So,
not nearly as sad. No, not nearly as sad.
All right,
Jason, over to you, buddy. Welcome back.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Like I was sitting there and like everything froze, and then like your voice went out, and then I was like, "That's not good." And then all of a sudden, I seen like a thing popped up on my screen said Haps is having difficulty connecting. So I was just like, okay, I'll refresh. So when I refreshed, it actually went back in. I had to like hit join the studio again and all that good stuff. But I don't know what the hell happened. Like it's nothing to do with my side because I'm all green. So I have no idea. Crazy. Gotta love technology.
Yeah. Well, how? Well, I mean, how much of my voice went out? I didn't because I didn't even notice.
You went like right at the end of the Megadeth story, and then when I came back, you were talking about the John Bush thing.
Oh,
So
okay.
so
Okay. So
it
I
wasn't
don't
a
think.
lot.
Okay. So I don't think anybody actually missed any of the actual stories. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
so it was kind of like
Which is good because which is go ahead.
I was just saying it was kind of on the tail end of the Megadeth story. So
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully both of the stories got in because I closed both tabs.
yeah.
So I don't have the tabs open
so
anymore.
well
So
that was
let's
just
hope.
that's yesterminute news.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right.
So hey, I know you need more Metallica jigsaw puzzles in your life, right? Uh, British toy
Yes.
maker Z Productions has got you covered. That's because the puzzle outfits Rock Saw's line of tabletop entertainments, each emblazoned with the artwork from a classic rock or metal album, seemingly won't stop until every Metallica album is a puzzle. To that end, jigsaw puzzles for Metallica's Saint Anger from 2003 and Death Magnetic from 2008, and the most recent Hardwire to Self Destruct from 2016 are actually on the way. Uh, Z Productions has already issued puzzles corresponding with Metallica's four early albums: Kill 'Em All from '83, Rather Lightning from '84, and Master of Puppets from '86, and Injustice for All from 1988. There are also puzzles for Garage Days and Creeping Death and Jump in the Fire singles. Beyond the Metallica items, the Rock Saws range additionally includes jigsaw puzzles for albums by ACDC, Megadeth, Nirvana, Ghost, Iron Maiden, Slayer, Judas Priest, Motorhead, and many more. The new Metallica puzzles each contain 500 pieces, and each comes in a 12-inch vinyl size box, perfect to store alongside a record collection. Pre-orders are at plastichead.com, and they will ship out this September. That was from loudwire.com. So that's pretty interesting. Uh, they just got like loads of Metallica puzzles over there. Like,
Yeah, they
man,
do. Yeah. And then it won't be long before their entire catalog is converted into puzzle form. Kind of neat.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Be cool. Alrighty. Moving over to metalinjection.net. Here's some good health news. Exodus drummer Tom Hunting successfully underwent a full gastrectomy on July 12th to remove the cancerous gastric tumors discovered earlier this year. According to Exodus guitarist Gary Holt, Hunting is doing all right, and he'll give more updates as Hunting progresses. Exodus recently announced they're moving their long-awaited new album Persona Non Grata back from its original June release date to this November in order to accommodate Hunting's battle with squamous cell carcinoma. Quote, great news. So Tom came out of surgery about 45 minutes ago. He's still heavily sedated, but everything went according to plan. Gastrectomy complete, heavily sedated, but all cancer and mesothelioma nodules removed. He's a warrior. I'll give updates later as I get them. Been a stress-filled day. Thank you to everyone for all the positive vibes. Much metal love, end quote. So there we go. I mean,
Awesome.
got good news as far as cancer goes,
Yeah.
and hopefully Tom continues to recover after the surgery, and everything goes according to his plan of getting back out on tour when the new album drops. So
Yeah.
I was
Most
happy. I
definitely.
was happy to read that. So that's good news.
Yeah. 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 We needed some good news after the way we
Yes,
started,
we
but
did. Yeah.
all right. Sticking with Loudwire here, Life of Agony bassist and lyricist Alan Robert has just unveiled the Beauty of Horror 5 Haunt of Fame, the latest installment of his best selling coloring book series, which features rock, metal, and pop culture icons. A Guliana toy figure is also coming soon as the star character of the popular books leaps off the page and into the physical world. Uh, as seen in a video trailer at the bottom of the page, the Haunt of Fame edition of the coloring book lets fans' imaginations run wild as they color in famous figures such as Motorhead's Lemmy Kilmister, David Bowie, the Flying Monkeys from The Wizard of Oz, Randy Rhoads is seen on the cover of Ozzy Osbourne's tribute, Randy Rhoads' live album, and yes, even the hilarious Golden Girls actresses. Uh, Other famous figures among the 80-plus page book include Elvis Presley, Jimi Hendrix, Edgar Allan Poe, and more. Uh, the ever-present Guliana appears frequently in Hall of Fame, and for the first time will be transformed into a 5-inch uh, to figuring in partnership with NECA and their Tiny Terrors toy line. To see Guliana smiling her piranha-like grin alongside gruesome greats like the Nun, Screams, Ghostface, and Michael Myers, and it's a huge honor for me, commented Robert. I feel like my little undead girl is all grown up. Randy Falk, NECA Vice President and Creative Director, added, bringing Guliana to life in toy form with her very first action figure has been a terrifying treat. Collaborating with Alan to translate his artwork into sculpted form has unearthed a plethora of possibilities for Guliana's future. Uh, the imagery just lends itself so well to figures, dolls, masks, costumes, and more. So I'm not real familiar with that Guliana, but and we can go. I have to go check that out. I'm big into this type of stuff. I like the different stuff that metal gets involved in with. Well, I lost Chris somehow or another, but surely he'll be back here in a minute. But so yeah, I like the the puzzles, the coloring books, the action figures, all that type stuff. Just always amazes me. Which I'm a big collector anyway. Uh, for people who don't know me, I do the pop collecting and all that type stuff. And I actually just bought I was actually at a GameStop and they had like an ACDC Angus Young album cover from Highway to Hell, and I actually was asking about it, and they said, "Well, it's the only one we got and the only one we're getting." So, needless to say, I left the store with it. So, oh, he's back. Hey, Chris, welcome back.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not the hell exactly sure what happened to me there for just a second, but yeah, I was able to make it back. Sorry about that. Yeah,
it's all good.
I'm gonna be doing I'm gonna be doing a little bit of troubleshooting after the show today. I don't know what the hell this is going on here.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
We got to figure that out. So
yeah, sorry about that.
So I'm going to move on into this next one here and let Chris get yes, Michelle, it is. Thank you for commenting and interacting a little bit. Love it. Yeah, we're going to move on into another little thing that I love too is comic books. So Z2 Comics further cements its place as the leading publisher of music-inspired books and graphic novels across all genres and formats, with the announcement of a book of original poetry from Five Finger Death Punch's Ivan Moody. Presented in an exquisite hardcover format, Ivan Moody's Dirty Poetry will be released this fall with signed special editions available exclusively through the 72 website, or Z2 website. Sorry. Can we imagine Ivan Moody having anything but dirty poetry? I
mean, no. Yeah.
Moody says, quote, out of all the projects I've undertaken, this is something truly out of the ordinary, completely unorthodox, and without creative walls. It is by far the oddest thing I have ever done, and that is saying something. I have no idea how this would turn out, but thankfully, between Blake and myself, I'm ecstatic with the first edition of Dirty Poetry. I'm intrigued and excited to share this full dose of my thought-provoking, chaotic, and emotionally stimulating artistic vision with all of you. Welcome to my rabbit hole, end quote. Ever wondered what really lies beyond where the sidewalk ends from the wonderfully twisted mind of frontman of Five Finger Death Punch? Ivan Moody's Dirty Poetry is a book of original poems punctuated with dark art that's guaranteed to inspire upside down dreamscapes in the minds of its readers. Written by Moody himself with beautifully haunting ink and watercolor illustrations by Blake Armstrong, Z2 Comics offers this Halloween treat to readers everywhere this October. Armstrong says dirty poetry definitely stands out as one of the more free and unique creative experiences I've had in my career. Ivan's overall vision for this book was so twisted and tantalizing, it would have been hard to keep me away from it. Our collaboration was truly a blast, and I think the love shows on every page. My only hope is that the readers enjoy the book at least as half as much as we did working on it. It's gratifying to be a part of something so weird, unexpected, and special. The Ivan Moody's Dirty Poetry Illustrated book comes in at 104 pages and will be released in a standard hardcover edition in comic shops and bookstores alike in October of 2021, as well as a special deluxe and super deluxe editions available for pre-order now only through the Z2's website. So if you want those, you need to run over there and pre-order those now. I think that's the only way you will be able to attain those. So Ivan Moody's moving on into some poetry. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a lot of fucks in those.
I could see that.
Yeah. But again, like we were talking about with the Judas Priest box set just a second ago. I mean, if you're going to buy it, pre-order it and get the super deluxe version. That's what I would do.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're going to go all out. Okay, let's see. I think I'm down to my last story, which is good. That way, if my feed cuts out again, I'll be done with those. Yeah. All right, this is over at the PRP.com. According to the rumor mill, Megadeth's new mystery bassist may be Steve DiGiorgio of Testament, etc. fame. July 12th saw this recent cameo video from Megadeth vocalist guitarist Dave Mustaine make the rounds. In it, the band's current mystery bassist was obscured by a chair, but their bass guitar was not. Going by the model of bass shown, some have guessed that DiGiorgio has been tapped to take over for David Ellefson on the band's forthcoming album and their immediate touring. You can see once such tweet below, and the screenshot of the tweet is in the story. And it pretty much does look like Steve DiGiorgio's bass guitar. So yeah, go check that out. Or, well, hang on a second here. Let me try this. Let's see if this will work.
Yeah.
And
not really.
Bring it down.
Barely, I could barely see it.
No.
Yeah.
There we go.
We gotta learn how to put it on.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we need to learn how to do insets and stuff like that, because this is that was pretty goddamn crude.
And make sure you say that right. Insets. SETS, not insets.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, we're not. No, we're not going to post any of that. No, none of that.
That's a wrong show. Okay.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Yeah. So, and then
we don't cover any Jerry Lee Lewis stories on here. So,
right. So yeah. Screenshot it, pull it up from desktop, and upload. All right, well, Michelle, I may have to try that. I'll have to see if I can. Do that, because that was that was pretty bad what I just did.
Yeah. So it would be kind of similar to where our logo is. So.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna kind of have to figure out how to do that, because I gotta laugh. I'll have to laugh at myself for what I just tried to do just then. But the rest of the
Megadeth is trying to sleuth us like Iron Maiden did, I guess.
Yeah, they're trying to, but Iron Maiden did it a lot better.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. They drug it out.
They dragged it out, and they left little breadcrumb trail of clues along the way and everything else, and then when writing on the wall, of course, a lot of people figured it out what it meant. Hey, July 15th, writing on the wall is coming out, and all this other stuff. And so, I mean, people got it, but it was still cool to follow along the little trail of breadcrumbs and everything.
Yeah.
So that was cool. That was fun. But So yeah, it looks like the mystery of the new Megadeth bassist may have been solved, but you could do a lot worse than getting the
Yeah,
bass
it's not a
player from
very
Testament.
not a
You could
bad
do a lot
pick.
worse.
Yeah, not a bad pick at all. So.
And then the rest of the story just goes on to rehash the whole drama with David Ellison. So we don't need to get into that
Oh my god!
again.
Like
Yeah, we
again,
don't need to
yeah.
get we don't need to get into that again.
So what's the deal with everybody? You know, I understand like it's a news story. It's a big story, but why you got to include it on every single Megadeth story? Like
Yeah,
we don't need to rehash. We know what happened. We don't need to rehash it week after week after week after week. Uh,
right.
I mean, yeah, it just like irritates me
Yeah,
of how I mean news stories should be news stories. That's not news anymore. That's it's been going on for a month. So I mean,
yeah. That's called beating a dead horse.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. So we try not to do that here. So just
Yeah,
so you
we
know.
try. We try not to. Yeah.
So what else
So
you
yeah.
got? Is that all you got?
Actually, I do, but like that was actually my last news story for
Okay.
this
So
week. So
I got one that we didn't get to last week. I'm going to carry over real quick. It was from last week. It was so on May 16th, 2010, we lost Ronnie James Dio to cancer, robbing the metal world of one of the greatest ever vocalists. From his days as a crooner in the early 60s to Elf to Rainbow to Black Sabbath and his own band, Dio, his stunning vocals have shaped and influenced metal as we know it today. So, to celebrate the legendary frontman's life, we've done some deep digging to bring you some astounding Dio shaped morsels. So, uh, this was some little odd stuff that we may not ever, may not have known about Ronnie James Dio, which I was wanting to cover it last week because it was, of course, his birthday week was last week. So, but it's all right. We'll carry it over into this week, and we'll get the content out there. I just thought it was interesting, and a lot of the stuff on here I did not know. So the very first one here says Ronnie James Dio was 5'4", reportedly the same height as Michael J. Fox, Pablo Picasso, and Glenn Danzig, which was crazy because I didn't know Glenn Danzig was that short.
yeah, I didn't know that either. I knew Ronnie James. I knew that Ronnie James was 5'4". I did
Yeah,
not know Danzig was that little.
yeah, that's crazy. He's a jacked up ass 5'4". I can tell you that.
I was about to say, you can see 5'4" on Ronnie James Dio, but Glenn Danzig was 5'4" tall and 5'4" across at one point.
Exactly. Yeah, he was square. Oh man. Number two says, as a child, Ronnie James Dio learned the trumpet, and his father made him have lessons for 2 hours every day. He played on trumpet on stage with Gene Pitney when he was 15. His widow, Wendy, told Loudwire he decided that he couldn't pull girls playing the trumpet, so he taught himself how to play bass.
That's a bold strategy,
that,
Cotton.
that's great. Well, I mean, it depends on who you ask because we did a story. I don't know if we actually did it on here, but I remember the story a few years back where the one groupie, she can say what she wants, but she was a groupie. Went
Right.
tried to sue the band because she slept with the bassist, saying he wasn't really a member. I'm like, yeah, the bassist is a member of the band. Jesus. Number three, because heavy metal was not invented, Ronnie loved listening to opera as a child and was a fan of Mario Lanza. Uh, I couldn't believe his incredible voice, he told USA Today. I wanted to use that aspect of vocalization in the rock and roll context. I guess that's the connection people see between my operatic style and music as heavy as possible. So that's pretty interesting that
Yeah.
he was a well, like you said, heavy metal wasn't invented yet because Black Sabbath wasn't around yet, I guess.
Right.
But number four was at his parents' encouragement, Ronnie enrolled in the University of Buffalo and studied pharmacology. He attended a school from 60 to 61 and played trumpet in the university band. Well, that's interesting. Did not know any of that. That's pretty cool. Being from the pharmacy world myself is kind of like, oh, it's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, number 5. Dio is the Italian word for God, but he adopted his name, stage name, from Italian American mobster member Johnny Dio, whose real name was Giovanni Ignazio Dio Guardi. Uh, so that's interesting. He got his name from a mobster. Imagine
Yeah.
that. Number 6. It's widely known that Ronnie played bass and sang for the band Elf, but did you know that keyboardist and guitarist Doug Thaler went on to co-manage Motley Crue? No, that's interesting.
No, didn't know that. No.
Yeah. Number 7. Ronnie and his first wife Loretta Berardi adopted a son, Dan Padavana. He released his debut horror novel Storeberry in 2014. It is an old school throwback horror novel depicting a small Virginia town attempting to survive a vampire infestation. Dan told Blabbermouth it's a combination of Nosferatu and Night of the Living Dead. Well, that might be interesting.
Yeah.
Number 8, during his first ever jam with Black Sabbath in 1979, the band wrote Children of the Sea, which would appear on the Heaven and Hell album released a year later. So the first ever jam, they recorded a song. That hardly ever happens.
That's how Ronnie James does it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Number 9, the video for Holy Diver was filmed in St. Mark's Church on London's North Woolwich Road. It is now called the Brick Lane Music Hall and was voted Britain's friendliest venue by UK coach companies. Just to say Holy Diver was recorded in a church that is kind of oh man, throwing up devil horns in a Catholic church. Awesome.
That's metal.
I think don't get much more metal than that, does it?
Yeah, that's pretty metal.
Number 10, Ronnie described his parody on the South Park episode Hooked on Monkey Phonics as wonderful. In the show, his band, described as a musical force of the 70s and 80s by Principal Victoria, performed Holy Diver at a school dance. I initially didn't want to let it be done because I felt that they were just going to crucify me and that I would end up being like what they did to Rod Stewart and what they did to Elton John and what they did to Ozzy. But they assured our office that they were real Dio fans and that I would like it. So I thought to myself, well, if you want to be an American icon, you better let them do it. and they did, and it was a knockout. It was funny. I thought they were more cruel to the drummer, if anything else. I have not seen that episode. I have to go back.
I haven't either. And I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure what he's talking about as far as them making fun of Ozzy, because I remember he was in an episode, but if I remember, it was the Chef Aid episode where they were trying to raise money for chefs' legal bills, and I remember Ozzy being in that episode, but I don't remember them. I don't remember them like being mean as far as Ozzy. I remember him talking about. I remember South Park's Ozzy character talking about when he bit the head off of a bat, but that's about it. So I don't know if there was another episode where they made fun of Ozzy, because I don't recall one. So that's kind of strange.
Yeah.
I do remember South Park making fun of Rod Stewart because they showed him in a wheelchair shitting his pants like 3 times during the episode.
Oh my God.
So I do remember them making fun of Rod Stewart.
Wow.
But I don't remember them making fun of Ozzy. And Elton John. Well, Elton John was actually there's another gnat. God damn it. And as a matter of fact, Elton John was in the Chef Aid episode too, and they weren't making fun of him either.
Right.
I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. It's weird, but
maybe he's seen it different than we did. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know, but well, at 5'4", he definitely saw it differently from us.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I know, right? But yeah, dad jokes for days at Metalheads.
Right.
Metalheads Unite. But yeah, I'll have to see if we can find that Ronnie James Dio episode.
Yeah.
I'd actually be interested to see that.
Maybe he was afraid he would come up short in the episode. I don't know. Or maybe he's mad because TV don't add 10 inches instead of 10 pounds. Oh, wow. We love you, Ronnie. Don't
Yeah,
don't
and
haunt us, please.
no, well, actually, they
uh,
actually do. That'd be fine. That'd be fine.
yeah, that'd be okay.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Yeah, and yeah,
This
you're
is an
right, Michelle. Face
interesting,
palm. I know.
yeah, right. This is an interesting one. Ronnie never touched drugs. I saw how destructive it was and how it dulled your sensibilities and ate up your talent and your life. He revealed, "I was raised by great parents whose respect I never wanted to lose." So that is just like, man, that's amazing in itself. Being in a rock band and never touched drugs. Man,
Well, that's
wow.
badass. That's something I actually have in common with Ronnie James Dio. That's awesome.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. Number 12 in 2001. In the 2001 song Dio, Tenacious D claimed that the rock legend was too old to rock at 59 years of age, and it was time for him to pass the torch.
Bullshit.
Right. Oh man, you find a pick of destiny and you think you know everything. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and then they ended up breaking it anyway. So I mean,
Yeah. 13. Ronnie James Dio was originally signed up to provide the voice of Doviculus in the metal video game Brutal Legend, but was eventually replaced by Rocky Horror Picture Show star Tim Curry. No reasons were given for the decision. Their loss. Still, there's always that 1989 Holy Diver platform game to sate your appetite. Wow. 14. As a lyrical master of all things sword and sorcery, Ronnie would be inspired to write while watching his beloved New York Giants on TV. Well, okay, now I don't like the guy anymore because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan.
I was about to say that's a deal breaker. Deal breaker right there.
Not really.
No.
You know, fans can be fans and disagree. I mean, golly.
Yeah, I mean, look at us, Michigan and Notre Dame.
I know, right? It's like I always said that when we first started the show. I got the big ND in the background. I'm like, I said, I'm sorry, Chris. I will. At some point, I'll move the room around where you don't have to stare at the Notre Dame sign all day.
Nah, you're fine. No, you're fine. One of us is no. It's okay. It's fine. One of us is right, and the other one is you. So
she said the Giants lose so he could concentrate on writing.
Well, the funny thing was is if he was actually a fan of the Jets, he would have had even more free time.
Right? Goddamn Jets.
Yeah, goddamn Jets.
15.
Hell, Jets fans aren't even fans of the Jets.
I know, right? Yeah, they think it's the pizza.
Yeah.
15 said the vocalist was introduced to Indian food by Glenn Hughes and took to it like a duck to curry. What? That's not racist at all. He tried it and loved it and wouldn't stop eating it. Remembers Wendy. So he loved the Indian food, obviously. So. 16 in the manga series JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the character Dio Brando, a British vampire, was named after the metal legend and after Marlon Brando. From part 3 on, he's simply known as Dio. I did not know that.
No, didn't know that either.
So number 17, Ronnie James Dio severed his thumb in a gardening accident in 2003 and revealed his first thought was how was he going to flash the horns on stage? I was in my yard trying to place this garden gnome on a slope. He explained, this is a very seriously heavy piece of garden ornament, probably 60 pounds or so. Anyway, it fell over and I fell into the shrubbery and then began to slide down to the bottom of the hill. My hand landed on a rock and the gnome landed on it, squashing my thumb between the rock and the gnome. I just looked at my hand, and the first thought that flashed into my mind was, how on earth am I going to make my devil horn sign now? That's my trademark. I wasn't worried about the injury, more concerned with my career. I'm thankful I still have my thumb and I can still do my horn sign. Wow, that's crazy. What's so crazy about that is we actually looked at some garden gnomes and they make them Ronnie James Dio ones. So
nice. I should. I think I'm gonna go get one now. But anyway, here's how you do this, because Ronnie James would do this. No thumb. Here's how you do it.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Just turn around.
Yeah. I mean, I don't put my thumb out anyway, because this is the American Sign Language. This is the American Sign Language for I love you. So this is I love you. This is metal. This is metal without a thumb.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah. The last one on here was following Ronnie James Dio's death, his estate auctioned off exactly 666 of his belongings at Julian's auction in New York City in 2018. I'm glad that Ronnie's extensive collection of items will go to his fans, museums, and collectors around the world to be displayed for all to see and enjoy, said Wendy. These items are very special to me, but I recognize the historical importance of anything to do with Ronnie, and he would want his fans to be able to own, enjoy, and see these items for many years to come. All that was from Kerrang! Magazine, by the way. That's crazy. Is the state auction off at exactly 666.
Yeah, I wonder what.
Man,
I wonder what lot number 666 was.
I know, right?
It would have been cool if it would have been his thumb.
Autographed Dio thumb.
Yeah, just a thumb with DIO on it.
Yeah. Just
I would have bought that.
Yeah, it just been a thumbnail.
Thumbnail. Yeah. Well, the cool thing is you can grow one out, sell it, grow another one out, and sell it.
That's true.
Yeah. So that would be.
But that is I want the Dio Guard thumb. Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, we do too.
They actually make a Slipknot one too of all the bands.
I was just about to say that they actually have they actually have all 9 members of Slipknot in Garden Gnome form. I saw those not too long ago. Yeah, I want those too. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife Susie, she wants us to get all the dirty ones where they're mooning people and shit like that. So.
Of course she does. Yeah.
I was like, for someone to have neighbors so bad, we moved into a neighborhood. So,
well, you might as well make it fun if you're living in because I live in a subdivision too. So I mean, you might as well make it fun.
Yeah, might as well, I guess.
But yeah, that actually was interesting.
Yeah,
obviously there were a couple of things we knew. Yeah, things we knew, but yeah, I did like that. That was actually worth holding over from last week. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Like that one. Yeah.
All right, so now we are ready to move on into our week in metal history.
Yes, we are. All right. This week in metal history, as always, is brought to you by This Day in Metal over at Twitter and on Facebook. Follow Metalhead Marv over there. And as always, like I say, Metalhead Marv is a little bit more active on Twitter than he is on Facebook. So if you want to follow him, head on over to Twitter and check him out. Leading off with July 10th, these are some leftovers from the end of yesterday. Not yesterday, at the end of last week's show. Leading off, July 10th of 2020, obviously just last year, Ensiferum releases Thalassic, and Static X releases Project Regeneration Volume 1. July 10th of 2015, Cradle of Filth releases Hammer of the Witches. July 10th, 1986, Tankard releases their debut album Zombie Attack. July 10th, 1987, Paranoia releases their debut album Come From Behind. July 10th, 2001, Avantasia releases their debut album, The Metal Opera. That was the United States release. The international release was earlier in the year, rather. July 10th of 2012, POD releases Murdered Love. Moving ahead to July 11th, 2014, Gravedigger releases Return of the Reaper. July 11th, 1981, Def Leppard releases High and Dry, which peaked at number 38 on the Billboard 200. July 11th of 1995, Motorhead releases Sacrifice. July 11th, 2000, Motley Crue releases New Tattoo, which peaked at number 41 on the Billboard 200. July 11th, 2003, Rob Halford returns to Judas Priest as vocalist. July 11th, 2006, Strapping releases The New Black. July 11th, 1984, Black Lace releases their debut album Unlaced. And July 11th, 1985, Precious Metal releases their debut album Right Here, Right Now. Moving ahead to the 12th, July 12th, 1996, Deeds of Flesh releases their debut album Trading Pieces. and Mortician releases their debut album, Hacked Up for Barbecue. July 12th, 1999, Unholy releases Grace Fallen. July 12th, 1994, Cyanide releases A Descent into Hell. Alice Cooper releases The Last Temptation, and Amorphous releases Tales from the 10,000 Lakes. July 12th, 1986, Carry On releases their debut album Evil Is There, and Destruction releases Eternal Devastation. July 12th, 2005, The Black Dahlia Murder releases Miasma, that peaked at number 118 on the Billboard 200. Firewind releases Forged by Fire, and Obituary releases Frozen in Time. July 12th, 2003, Norther releases Mirror of Madness. July 12th of 2011, Decapitated releases Carnival is Forever. July 12th of 2006, Riot releases Army of One. July 12th, 1995, Creator releases Cause for Conflict. And July 12th, 1985, Hallows Eve releases their debut album, Tales of Terror. Moving ahead to the 13th, July 13th, 1990, Violence releases Oppressing the Masses. July 13th, 1986, Digger releases their debut album, Stronger Than Ever. July 13th, 1984, Dark Age releases a self-titled EP, and Grim Reaper releases their debut album, See You in Hell, which peaked at number 73 on the Billboard 200. July 13th, 2004, Dokken releases Hell to Pay, and Dream Evil releases The Book of Heavy Metal. July 13th of 2010, Hell Yeah releases Stampede, that debuted at number 8 on the Billboard 200. Moving ahead to the 14th, July 14th of 1992 was a busy day. Megadeth releases Countdown to Extinction, which peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200, which was obviously, as we all know, was a fantastic album. Ministry releases Psalm 69, The Way to Succeed and The Way to Suck Eggs. Paradise Lost releases Shades of God, and Danzig releases Danzig 3, How the Gods Kill, which peaked at number 24 on the Billboard 200. And I'm going to make a quick aside. That Ministry album, Psalm 69, I actually have that CD downstairs on the shelf. I did not know that that was the full title of that album until I saw that until I saw this and wrote it down. I just thought the name of the album was Psalm 69. I did not know it was The Way to Succeed and The Way to Suck Eggs until I wrote that just a couple days ago. I've had that CD. I mean, it came out in 1992. I've probably had that CD about that long, and it wasn't until like 2 days ago until I knew that was the entire album title. And I was like, get the fuck out of here! Seriously, I had no idea. That was insane to me. I just thought it was Ministry, Psalm 69. I'm dead serious. As I sit here, thought.
So does the album have any of that extra on there, or it just says Psalm 69?
See, that's the thing is I don't think it does. I don't think it, just like, because it's got the CD cover, and then you turn the CD over, and the little the little spine of the CD case, it just says Ministry, Psalm 69 on it. It doesn't say The Way to Succeed and The Way to Suck Eggs. It doesn't say that on there. So that's what I'm saying. I never knew that was the full album, the full title of the album until 2 days ago. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. An almost 30-year-old album. And I didn't find out until yesterday that was the full album title.
That's the wonderful thing about what we do. Is
I'm telling you,
something
man,
along the way as well. So.
Yeah, we do. And as another aside, I would say that Megadeth won July 14th, 1992. I'd say they won. They came out with Countdown to Extinction that day. I'd say they won.
Yeah.
All right. So, having said that, moving on. July 14th, 1985, Stranger releases their debut album, The Bell. July 14th, 1974, Mountain releases Avalanche. Go figure. July 14th, 1980. Yeah, July 14th, 1988, Halloween releases the single Dr. Stein. July 14th, 1998, Angra releases Fireworks, and Warrior releases Ancient Future. July 14th, 1986, TT Quick releases their debut album, Medal of Honor. That's Metal, M-E-T-A-L, of Honor. July 14th of 2003, Jaguar releases Run Ragged. And July 14th, 2005, The Accused releases Oh Martha. Moving ahead to the 15th, July 15th, 1986, Gravestone releases Creating a Monster. July 15th, 1998, Sentenced releases Frozen. And I know I've talked about Sentenced on this show before, But I have this CD also. And if you've never, Jason, I know I've told you before that you should check out the band Sentenced. If you check them out, I will let you borrow that CD because that's the one you should listen to. It's phenomenal, start to finish. Um, July 15th, 1985, Hit Parader releases the compilation The Wild Bunch. July 15th, 1994, Overkill releases WFO. July 15th, 1989, Lizzie Borden releases Master of Disguise. July 15th, 1987, Trouble releases Run to the Light. July 15th, 2011, Manila Road releases Playground of the Damned. July 15th, 1993, Sadist releases their debut album Above the Light. July 15th, 2016, Blood Red Throne releases Union of Flesh and Machine. And 7/15/1996, Melvins releases Stag. Moving ahead to the 16th, 7/16/1984, Fastaway releases All Fired Up. July 16th, 1987, Overdose releases their debut album Conscience. July 16th, 1990, Wolf Spider releases Kingdom of Paranoia. July 16th, 2013, Trouble releases The Distortion Field. And July 16th, 2005, Rising Moon releases They Are As Us. And then moving ahead to today's date, I just got a couple so far. July 17th, 1982, Judas Priest releases Screaming for Vengeance, which peaked at number 17 on the Billboard 200. That album turned out doing pretty well. And July 17th of 2000, Dark Tranquility releases Haven. And that's as far as I've gotten for the 17th so far. I'll probably have some more that show up during the day today over there at Metalhead Marv's page at This Day in Metal, and I will lead off next week's segment with those. So over to you, sir.
All right, let's see what I got here. So this week in metal history, I have July 11th, 1982, Phil Collen, former guitarist with the glam rock band Girl, replaced Pete Willis in Def Leppard, who was fired due to excessive alcohol consumption on the job. And I guess you could say the rest is history, but
yeah,
because Phil Collen is still there. July 11th, 1987, Heart started a 3-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles chart with Alone. It also made it to number 3 in the U.K., so probably one of their biggest hits. July 13th. Yeah, July 13th. I don't know if it was that or just because you had a big-breasted Nancy on a horse. Maybe that's what did it. But
hey, you know what? Whatever works.
Yeah,
whatever works.
July 13, 1968, Black Sabbath played their first gig at a small backstreet blues club in Birmingham, England. So July 13th was the very first gig that Black Sabbath ever played. That's awesome. July 13th, 1997, The Prodigy started a 5-week run at number 1 on the UK album chart with their third album, The Fat of the Land. The album has now sold over 10 million copies worldwide. July 14th, 1989, at the Peach Festival, South Carolina, 432 guitarists broke the world record for the most guitar players appearing in unison for the longest period of time when they performed a Louie Louie for 30 minutes. That's pretty crazy. It's not really metal related. I just thought that was pretty cool that, it was a guitar. I wonder if that's still like a Guinness Book of World Record thing or something. I mean, it was from '89, so. Could be, I guess.
Yeah, you figure they figured it's probably been broken by now, and hopefully they picked a better song.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they could play the original one or something for.
Yeah.
July 15th, 1998, Aerosmith was forced to cancel a forthcoming U.S. tour after Joey Kramer was involved in a freak accident. The drummer's car set on fire and was completely destroyed as he was filling up with gasoline. He was admitted to the hospital with second-degree burns. That's pretty wild. It must be
he was having he was having a Derek Zoolander gasoline fight.
Yeah, right. Wow. July 15th, 2018, November Rain by Guns N' Roses became the first 1990s video to pass 1 billion views on YouTube. The next closest 90s video was Zombie by the Cranberries at 739 million. So that's pretty interesting. July 16th, 2012, John Lord, a former keyboard player with Deep Purple, died at age 71. Lord was a co-founder of Deep Purple in '68 and co-wrote many of the group's songs, including "Smoke on the Water." He also played with bands including Whitesnake. He had been receiving treatment for pancreatic cancer since August of 2011. So, July. Where'd that come from? Oh, I didn't put the 16 in there. I'm like, what the hell? So I said July 6th. I'm just like, wait a minute, that's last week. July 16th, 2019, Metallica brought their worldwide tour to Finland, drawing almost 1% of the country's population in a record-breaking concert. The show at Kantala Event Park in the city of, I'm going to kill this, Hämeenlinna, was attended by over 55,000 people. That's about 1% of Finland's entire population of more than 5.5 million people. So that's pretty cool. Leave it to Metallica, right?
Yep.
So July 17th, 1987, the Ozzy Osbourne band started a 16-week tour of U.S. prisons. Wow, I don't know if I've ever heard of anybody ever doing that. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's ballsy.
Yeah. July 17th, 1993, Guns N' Roses appeared at River Plate Stadium in Buenos Aires, Argentina, in front of 80,000 people, the final show on their Use Your Illusion tour. A highlight of the night was English drummer Cozy Powell playing drums with Matt Sorum, dressed as a Domino's pizza delivery boy. Oh, my God. That's
nice.
Yeah. July 17th, 2008, aging rock stars and session musicians would keep receiving royalties for their old recordings for the rest of their lives under a European Union plan. Performers currently lost the rights of their recordings after 50 years. Veteran artists like Sir Cliff Richard and Roger Daltrey were among those that campaigned for it to be extended. The EU had announced a scheme for copyright on recordings to last for 95 years, so they can get their money for life now.
And they should.
And they should. Yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah, they absolutely should.
I don't know why. Yeah. Like, I guess they thought 50 years. Half the rock stars wouldn't live that long. I don't know what the thinking was with the 50-year thing, but yeah, I mean, we got people that we listen to now that have been around for 50 years. So,
right, Judas Priest, the Scorpions.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, yes. I mean, there's plenty of bands that have been around for that long. And the funny thing is, I mean, I'm glad they changed it. It was, excuse me, it was right of them to do that. But at the same time, why go from 50 to 95? Just say.
Yeah,
royalties are a lifetime proposition. I mean, I'm glad they changed it. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad they did. And 95 is kind of an arbitrary number. Like I say, if anything, just go from 50 to 100. But I mean, why do you have to put a number on it anyway? Just say, no, fuck 50 years. You get royalties for your work until you die. I mean, that makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, and you should. I mean, it's it's your creativity, so you should be getting something from it. So
yeah, absolutely.
But that's
I'm glad they changed it.
That's all of the metal history news that I had. So
all right.
So we want to jump into our specialty of the week here.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I managed to get to 15.
Oh, did you? Actually, when you said that, and I got back in and started working on mine, I got to 12, and I had a little trouble. I'm just like, wow, this is kind of harder than I thought it was. Maybe we should have did the 15 for the
80s. 15 for the 80s would have been easy. I was actually surprised at how difficult getting to 15 was for the 90s. Because like I was telling you last night, because I put that initially when we decided to do the 90s and we were going to do 10, I told everybody that I wouldn't do Nothing Else Matters and The Unforgiven because this would have been like the third list that those two songs were on. And then we decided to expand it to 15. And then when we did that, I was like, all right, I'll try not to put those two songs on here. I'll try not to.
Yeah, if they
And
made it, they
then,
made
and
it.
then,
Oh well.
yeah. And then spoiler alert, they made it. But, uh, so, so when I started building the list, I got to like, I remember I told you last night that I got to 10 right away. Well, I actually, after I got home from your house last night, I look at the list. I took a look at the list, and it was actually only 8. I was like, oh shit, I've only got 8. So this morning when I was finishing off the show notes, I was like, all right, I'm gonna put those two songs on here. So it basically got me from 8 to 10 right away, and then I did fill out the rest of the list. So I did get to 15, but yes, Nothing Else Matters and The Unforgiven are on here. So, so I mean, hey, these are favorites lists for a reason, and it just so
Right.
happens that we've done 3 different themes where those songs apply. So it is what it is. So I guess having said that, I'll go ahead and I'll go first this week.
Okay.
Yes, in no particular order, but yes, Nothing Else Matters and The Unforgiven are both on the list. Obviously, those are both songs from the Black Album from 1991.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Cemetery Gates by Pantera from 1990. I've got To Be With You from Mr. Big from 1990. I have Wind of Change by the Scorpions from 1990. I have Love of a Lifetime by Firehouse from 1990. I have Mama, I'm Coming Home, one of my karaoke favorites from Ozzy Osbourne from 1991. Silent Lucidity by Queensryche from 1990.
Mm.
And I've had this one on another list too, but I'll Never Let You Go by Steelheart from 1990. Fly to the Angels by Slaughter from 1990. I have November Rain by Guns N' Roses from 1991. I have A Tout Le Monde from Megadeth from 1994. I have Bed of Roses by Bon Jovi from 1992. When I Look Into Your Eyes by Firehouse from 1992. And then last but certainly not least, I have Road to Nowhere by Ozzy Osbourne from 1991. So, yeah, basically 1990 took care of almost the entire decade of
Yeah.
as far as
Yeah.
power ballads are
There was a
concerned.
lot. Yeah, there was a lot in the early '90s. That's for sure.
Yeah, there was.
Uh,
Yeah. So that was my 15.
all right. So there's actually some good ones on there that I wish I would have put on mine, but uh, so I had a couple. I had a couple of repeats here. Not as many as I thought would be there, but all right. I had Firehouse, Love of a Lifetime from 1990. I also had Guns N' Roses, November Rain from '91. I had Skid Row, Wasted Time from '91. I had Trickster, One in a Million from 1990. Warrants, Blind Faith from 1990. Poison, Something to Believe in from 1990.
Yep.
We're in 1990.
Yeah.
Scorpions, Wind of Change from 1990. The Aussie that I chose was See You on the Other Side from 95. So I went a little
That's a
bit
good one
further
too.
deep
Yeah.
into 95. Cinderella, Heartbreak Station from 1990. Had to include Cinderella in the list since, we've been, they definitely were the topic of the show this week. So, Arcade, Cry No More from 1993. If you're not familiar with that band, that is a Stephen Pearcy from Rat side project. And I really enjoyed, I actually may have enjoyed Arcade a little bit more than Rat. So,
Wow. Okay.
yeah. So, Metallica, Nothing Else Matters from '91. I never made any promises, so. Def Leppard, Two Steps Behind from 1992. I had
That's
Mr.
a
Big
good song too. Yeah.
I had Mr. Big to Be With You from '91. I had Motley Crue's Glitter from 1997. So I went deep into the '90s on that one.
Nice. Yeah.
The reason I like that song is I used to so it's crazy. I used to sing this song to my daughter, uh, and she would hold my finger when she was a baby, and I would sing that song to her until she went to sleep. So
Oh,
that
that's
one's got
badass.
so that's got a special place in my heart. So,
Hell yeah,
uh,
dude. That's awesome.
and then I'm gonna round mine off with Kiss, Every Time I Look at You from 1992. So that was my 15.
Yeah.
Uh, So
Yeah, it was crazy when I was building this list. I was like, damn it, everything is from 19 well, not everything literally, but I was like 90, 90,
right,
90,
yeah,
90. I
yeah,
was like, holy shit, man. It's
uh,
like the
yeah.
entire decade was owned by the first year of it. So I
I
was,
mean, it kind of was because if you think about it, alternative hit around 92, so that kind of put a damper on anything coming out after that. So you had
right.
90 and 91, and then 92 alternative kind of took over. So you didn't have a
Yeah.
lot of those power ballads from the alternative scene. So
Yeah, that's true. Another reason to hate grunge.
yeah, I mean, I don't hate grunge, but I mean,
Right. Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, yeah, well, that's
there,
true. Hate is a little bit of a strong word.
yeah,
Um,
because there's actually a couple of grunge bands that I liked. So
yeah, I did. I actually did like Pearl Jam, I'll admit. And then Alice in Chains had some songs that I liked. But
exactly,
as a
as
genre
a whole, yeah,
in general, yeah, not a fan.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I
So
like
yeah,
Soundgarden. Sound
hate was a touch unfair.
Soundgarden and Alice in Chains were my two favorites. So
Yeah, man, I don't know why I just couldn't get into Soundgarden, man. I just
yeah.
couldn't. But
Like the first
but
album,
that's just me.
the
That's
first
just me.
album was great, and then after that, they kind of just went off in a different direction. But yeah, like you give me first album Soundgarden, and I'm gonna Bad Motor Finger Soundgarden. That's my stuff. So
Now see, that's fine. I mean, Outshined is my favorite.
yeah,
Outshined is my favorite Soundgarden song. I'll tell you one Soundgarden song that was super popular that I cannot stand. I cannot stand Black Hole Sun. I cannot stand that song. I
yeah.
can't.
We
Can't
were
do it.
actually talking about this. I don't remember who we were talking with it about, but somebody had mentioned that being their favorite Soundgarden song, and I'm like, oh my god, no.
Well, I mean, obviously, to each their own. And and that's what I'm saying. A lot of people liked Black Hole Sun, but I could not stand that song. Couldn't do it, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's. That carries
Oh,
out that little
but
special segment. So I hadn't really decided on what we want to do next week.
yeah, we'll have to
Yeah, we'll have
we'll
to
have
get
to
together and see what we want to do.
put
I
our
actually had
heads together.
something
Yeah.
in mind, and I can't remember what it was, and I should have wrote it down. But
Yeah.
uh,
So we'll figure that out, and what we'll do is because what we normally do is at the end of this segment we let everybody know what next week's segment's going to be. So since we don't know, we'll come up with it, and then we're not going to tell you. So it's going to be a surprise next week. Everyone come by next week. Next week's theme is going to be a surprise.
yeah, yeah.
And I will say,
Maybe that's
one,
what maybe that's what it'll be. Surprise number ones or something.
maybe who knows, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
But I will say, but I will
we'll communicate throughout
yeah,
the week and figure it out.
yeah, we'll figure it out. I will say one more thing about grunge. In the immortal words of Tenacious D, grunge tried to kill the metal, but they failed. Has metal gone downhill lately? As opposed to when, Nazem?
Yeah. I don't think so. I think so. The thing that that's actually something that I thought about too. Like maybe 10 years ago, is I'm just like, okay, so we have all these great bands right now, but what new bands do we have that's going to carry on? Greta Van Fleet is not one of them. I hate
I
to say
think
it,
Greta. I think yeah. I think Greta Van Fleet sucks.
yeah, I mean, they're more of rock than they are metal anyway to me.
Yes.
But there are some yeah, it's expanded exactly, and I think that's what's been going on for over the last 10, 20 years. Is you went from just a heavy metal and hard rock. Now we had thrash and speed and death, and now it's metalcore and deathcore and all this other stuff now. So there's so
Yeah.
many like subgenres of metal that I don't think that's
Yeah. And the exactly
Led Zeppelin all over it. And I think that's another
exactly
reason why
exactly.
we we don't care for them. Honestly, Nazim, and it's not nothing against those guys. Those guys are talented. Don't get me wrong. It's just that we're not big Led Zeppelin fans, and they remind
Yeah.
us of that. So we're not as big into those guys.
Yeah,
And,
I've
and
I've gone yeah, I've gone on record multiple times saying how much of a Led Zeppelin fan I am not,
right,
and so the fact that Greta Van Fleet sounds exactly like them was a deal breaker for me. And they're not a metal band for two, which
right,
I mean is fine that they're not. It's
yeah, yeah,
fine.
yeah,
And as far as Greta Van Fleet is concerned, it sucks for me to say that I don't care for them because they are from Michigan just like me. So that
hmm
that sucks for me to say that. But yeah, they do sound a whole lot like Led Zeppelin, which is a no for me. But as far as the metal scene as a whole, you also have to take into account the fact that all of the technology that we have now, we're able to access music basically instantly.
yeah.
And there's a lot of bands that I like, that personally I like. Jason, I don't know about you because I know there's a lot of bands that I've kind of turned you on to from Europe. Like Primal Fear and
hmm
Sabaton,
Right.
and like I said earlier in the show, Sentence. They're no longer together. They broke up in 2006, but they're a band that came out of Finland. There's a lot, and of course all of
Well,
the black. All of the
you know,
black metal that comes out of Scandinavia. So I mean, Scandinavia, Sweden, Finland, Norway, those three countries, that region of Europe comes out with so many heavy metal bands that up until about maybe 10 years ago or so, maybe between 10 and 20, those bands were heard in Europe, and that was about it. And
hmm
until satellite radio came along, because I mean, we used to have one of those humongous satellite dishes in our backyard, on the pole that used to, turn and everything.
right. Yeah, you had to go out and turn
That,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, we had one of those, and there were satellite radio stations on it, and that's when I first heard of like Sentenced and Arch Enemy,
Mhm.
back when Angela Gassau was still singing for them. Arch Enemy is a European band too, so the fact that technology has kind of by default been able to broaden the horizon of heavy metal. No, I don't think metal has gone downhill at all. I
Right.
actually think of course, metal has always been underground, as far as a genre, and that was
Yeah,
always
it's not
kind
it's
of
not a
been
mainstream.
the
Yeah.
attraction. Yeah, it's never been a mainstream genre of music anyway. But with the technology being the way it is now, being able to access all sorts of music, I think actually, as far as heavy metal is concerned, I think heavy metal's popularity is on its way up. I really do.
Yeah. Hey,
And
there was
let's
a
see.
there was a question
Um,
in here about I want to know what part of Michigan were you from, Chris? So,
yeah, I was just about to respond. Michelle, I was actually born in Ann Arbor.
and then
So um so
and
so
then
I am a Michigan fan, but I do have some relatives who are MSU fans too, and I don't hold that against them because it's still the state of Michigan. So
mhm.
it's very cool.
and
It's
then
it's
Nazim
it's definitely it's not Ohio State, so that's fine.
then Nazim wanted to know what was our favorite metal group of all time. So,
Well, I mean, you know, of all time, it's Metallica. The
yeah,
Unforgiven, yeah,
unfortunately, I would probably agree with that as well. So, uh,
yeah. So yeah, Metallica is my favorite heavy metal band of all time. I've said it on here before, that the Unforgiven is my favorite song of all time, hands
mhm.
down. My favorite band right now, um, man, my favorite band right now, that'd be kind of hard to answer.
Oh,
Um,
right now it would be
yeah,
really hard
so I don't
because
so I don't really know.
so I'm big. I'm so like right now I think the biggest bands are about 10 years into their career right now. If that says
Yeah.
anything about because I think you have to like you know I think you hit that debut album and then like it gets everybody on board and then 4 or 5 albums later is when you kind of hit your stride and you're like because I mean you
Hmm.
think about it like I mean just think about Trivium. They just put out a song that I think is like better than anything they've ever put out, and
You talking about the court?
they've been around for a minute. So I mean,
You talking
he,
about the court of the in the court of the dragon?
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's that's damn, that's a hell
That
of a song,
song,
and it's like,
that that song kicked so much ass.
yeah,
If you guys haven't heard that song yet, In the Court of the Dragon, go check it out on YouTube. It is a face melter, man. It was so good.
yeah. And then you got bands like Devil Driver and Warbringer that are in their fifth and sixth albums and stuff like that that are they're hitting their stride, and they're like really doing things really well right now. So
And Devil Driver is actually further than that into their career.
yeah, exactly.
Devil Driver
Like 20
is,
years.
yeah, yeah. Devil Driver, and they are constantly putting out music. Des
Hmm.
Fafara he's a machine, is what he is.
Yeah.
So
And there's newer bands that I've seen, like Afterlife is a band that I've seen a couple times. They're about to put out their second release here pretty soon, and they're more of a they're along the metalcore scene as well. They're not your normal heavy metal like Metallica and stuff like that. They have a
mhm.
little bit of a different sound to them, but I like them. I think they're good. I think they're a good band. They're a young band. Actually, when I seen them, there was only one of them that were old enough to drink. So, uh, but my opinion on Nine Inch Nails, I like Nine Inch Nails.
I personally, I've never been a huge fan.
Yeah, I mean, I like Nine Inch Nails. I think it's just because of the. I guess it's more of a respect than it is like. I guess because when I first bought the first Nine Inch Nails album, I looked at it and said. Nine Inch Nails is Trent Reznor. And I'm like, well, what about the rest of the guys?
Yeah,
it's like, no, that's
yeah.
it. I'm just like, what the, how the hell does this guy do all that? But it's pretty amazing.
That's I can well, I mean, I can definitely like the only Nine Inch Nails song I really like is Closer, but
Yeah,
that's kind of like an easy one. But I'm not a huge fan of Nine Inch Nails, but I can definitely respect the talent because I don't have the talent to make that music.
right.
It's like the same thing with Tool. I really don't, an unpopular opinion alert maybe, but I really don't like Tool. There are a couple songs off of the Undertow album that I like, but for me personally, I don't really care for Tool. Um, I actually think it's kind of an ironic name for that band because I kind of think Maynard James Keenan is a Tool. But again, that's just me. My opinions do not reflect the opinions of a
Right.
lot of people. I know,
And I'm not a
but
big Tool fan either. So,
yeah, but I mean, but at the same time, I can still respect the talent because I don't have the talent.
right.
So I'm not gonna hate on anybody's. I'm not gonna hate on Tool, and I'm not gonna hate on Nine Inch Nails. The talent that they have, but as far as their music, yeah, just not a fan. And then, like I
Yeah.
say,
I think it's just a, I
that's
think
just
it's,
2 cents of me.
I think it's just a bit stale as far as Tool goes because I don't see any. This new album came out, and I don't see any difference. I've listened to it, but I don't see any difference from that than than I did with their first album. So, this is kind of like they didn't. They're not doing anything, different or more creative in my. That's just my opinion because everybody's got their opinion about everything. So
Yeah, because I remember when I remember because I mean, how long was the gap between two albums? It was really long.
13 years, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember, and I don't remember the name of I don't remember the name of the song, but I remember when it came out, I listened to it, and I was like, "This is what we waited." I was like,
13
"This is
years for
what
you.
we," yeah. I was like, "This is what we
uh,
waited this long for." Because I mean, I don't remember the name. Like I say, I don't remember the name of the first single, but I listened to it, and I was like, first of all, this is boring as shit. It's no different, and
right.
this is what the hiatus brought us.
Yeah.
The gap in yeah, and so yeah. And Nazem, I totally agree with you. I miss going to concerts too. My last one was in January of 2020. That was my last concert. It's been way too damn long.
Yeah. Uh, we actually ran out of time conversating. That's kind of a odd thing
Actually,
for us to do. So,
but actually, you know what?
uh,
That's totally fine.
oh yeah, I'm cool with it.
We
It kind
can
of
we
puts us in a you know it kind of put us in a little. It kind of took us out of our normal routine, which is good.
yeah,
I kind of hate getting stuck in a little normal. Too normal. I don't like being too normal.
yeah. Yeah, but what we can do is the cool thing is we can post the album reviews at the Metalheads Unite Facebook page. We can
Hmm.
do a couple of write-ups. Hey,
Oh,
we just got
hey
permission to go longer.
hey, there we go. So
We just got permission to go
we'll
longer.
throw them on here for then real quick. So
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
Yeah. We just got permission from the boss that we can go longer. So
All right. So
if
you
they're
will
gonna
get
give
the album reviews anyway. So
yeah.
hey, you too, Nazim. Thanks for
Yeah.
stopping by.
Yep. Nazem, thank you. We appreciate you coming by. Yep. And Michelle, you're still here. We appreciate you being here too. Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I've
as
actually
far
enjoyed
as
the little conversating. That's pretty cool. We
yeah,
we don't get that every week. We do get it sometimes, but we haven't got it every week. So it is cool to get that every once in a
yeah,
while. So
so yeah, the banter was awesome, and you guys asking us those questions was fantastic.
yeah.
Love that.
Actually, Michelle, I actually have tickets to the Blue Ridge Rock Festival coming up in September. Other than that, I have nothing planned. I do want to see Judas Priest and Sabaton. That's probably one of the shows, and I think me and Chris were talking about seeing Slipknot and Killswitch over and taking a road trip for that.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah, so
they're coming to Birmingham, so that's only like
mhm,
that's like a roughly two and a
two and a
half
half,
hour
3 hours away.
drive from where we live. So yeah, it's a straight shot down Interstate 65. So we may go see that one. Um, like we said earlier in the show, we had tickets to go see Megadeth in Nashville, and we also had tickets to go see Slipknot in Nashville, but those two concerts got canceled, unfortunately. So I'm not really, honestly, other than those two, don't have any. I don't have any shows that I'm going to be planning on just yet because I really don't know. Tours are just now starting to get rescheduled and rebooked and stuff like that. So I'm behind as far as keeping up with anybody who's coming to the Nashville area. So I'm not real sure. There aren't really any on my radar for Nashville.
Oh,
I won't be able to go ahead.
yeah, I also forgot about the Motionless in White and Light the Torch. Are also coming. I think they're in end of September. I think so.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah,
Susie had mentioned that one last night while we were
yeah,
sitting
yeah.
outside. That's right. I forgot about that one. Yeah, the only show that I have the only show that I have tickets to coming up is I have tickets to go see Tom Segura, but he's a stand-up comedian, and that's in January of 2022, and that's at the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville. So
Yeah, yeah, right.
those are the only tickets I
Hey,
have
that's
for
not a
right now.
thing to have tickets for either. So
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, he kills. Tom Segura definitely kills, so I'm looking forward to that. But so yeah, I am hoping to get tickets to a heavy metal show as soon as humanly possible because yeah, it's been way too damn long.
yeah, yeah. And like I said, we used to go to 5 or 6 shows a year. So for us not to have anything for 2 years, almost 2 years, is kind of like chomping at the bit.
It's literally been live show withdrawals. It absolutely has
It's
been.
not been good for my mentality. That's for sure.
No, yeah, it
Uh,
hasn't.
All right, well, let's jump into these
Yeah,
album reviews real quick, and we'll
yeah.
get that out there. Especially since I'm in Facebook jail and can't post mine anyway. So,
Oh, I forgot about that.
I got 12 more days on my sentence. So, gotta love it.
Yep.
So,
All right, well, you go ahead and lead off this week with the
yeah.
album
So,
review.
I actually, speaking of Kill Switch Engage, I actually checked out the side projects from theirs. Adam Dudkowitz and Jesse Leach. Um, that's their little side project from there, and they also had Dan Gluzak on drums. There, that this album was a little bit, not a little bit. It was a lot different from anything Killswitch has put out. And I think we had mentioned something about how Jesse had mentioned that he didn't really care for the metalcore genre anyway.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
is which that's his thing. If you don't like it, but unfortunately that's what's making you a paycheck. So
yeah, yeah.
uh,
It's Jesse Leach has made some very strange comments over the last
yeah,
couple weeks. It's
and
been
I think
odd.
I was looking at something last night. I think, and I told you, I said, yeah, he had just put it out, saying something about they may go in a different direction on the next Killswitch album, and I'm like, uh, yeah, you probably wouldn't want to do that because you've gotten
Yeah,
a good fan base, and you're probably going to have a lot of people fall off of that.
yeah.
Especially if you go to anything like this Time of Grace, man, it was rough listening to. I'll just be honest with you, but, but hey, man, it's all more power to them. I mean, that kind of that's what you do side projects for, is to do what you want to do.
Exactly,
You
exactly.
know, and nothing against like Jesse Leach, and I mean he's got a great voice, but I just don't. It was almost too ballady for me. I had like three good songs on there. Like it was pretty heavy, and then the rest of them were kind of like ballady type songs, and I'm just not into. Yeah, I don't mind them. It's like kind of like you said, I don't mind that. I just you just want um, to have two or three on there out of a 12 song lineup, then that's fine. But don't make two or three heavy songs and then all
Yeah, you don't want
ballads.
the you don't want the ballads to be the main attraction.
Right, because it's unless that's what you want to be known for, I guess. But whatever.
Well, true. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, this album, Songs of Loss and Separation, it was 10 songs, 48 minutes, 59 seconds. Like I said, wasn't a great listen for me. Just I think this was their actual second album, I think, and it's been 10 years since they put out their first one. So uh,
I'll be damned. I didn't know that.
yeah, so I haven't heard the first one yet. I may just go back and listen just to see if anything's changed or if that's just the way they've always sounded. Because I don't really want to shit on the people if that's kind of what
Right.
that's kind of if that's kind of what they're going for as far as sound, then that's great. I'm not gonna. But anyway, so it wasn't great. I mean, I probably just keep it down the middle at a 2.5 out of 5 horns. Just like I said, just wasn't what I was expecting. Of course, it doesn't matter what I expect, I guess, but
Well, yeah, see that's the thing is I mean you got the lead singer and the lead guitarist at Killswitch Engage, so it's hard to get out of it's hard to get Killswitch Engage
mm-hmm.
out of your mind,
Yeah,
even though you're trying to keep an open mind, but it's like, all right, it's half of Killswitch Engage. Try to keep that separate, and then you start to listen to it, and you're like, it's not Killswitch Engage. So it's like try as hard as you can to keep the two separate.
yeah.
It really can be difficult to do that.
Well, I mean, they really kept it separate, so they did do that, and they did that. They did that very well. So, uh, but I mean, it's kind of like Stone Sour with Slipknot. I mean, Corey Taylor's got two great bands right there, and they've sounded the same in some senses. Every once in a while, you're like, that sounds, a little bit too Slipknotty for me if it's a Stone Sour song or whatever. But but yeah, this one did not sound anything like Killswitch Engage. So I did read where they said it was like Adam Dudkowitz started writing this stuff when he was in the hospital after a back surgery in 2007. So that's kind of where this kind of formed from. So
Yeah.
so you have something like that happen to you, then maybe you take a different look at life and want to go in a different direction than what you are, kind of get more you know
Yeah.
faith related and stuff like that. So
Well,
anyway,
it was like I said last night when you first pointed out that article where Jesse Leach was talking about wanting to change the style of Killswitch Engage. You don't do that with your main band, especially with a band as popular as Killswitch Engage has become.
right.
If you want, he's got this side project, and if he wants to stretch his legs or spread his wings or whatever cliche you want to use, do that in your side project. Don't risk alienating your core fan base of the band that basically made your career.
Right.
By saying the things that you've been saying. Jesse Leach, I mean, a couple weeks, it was either last week or the week before last, I brought that story up where Jesse Leach was like, yeah, I don't really like metalcore that much. I mean, that was almost like a direct quote from that story. It's like, why the hell are you going to say that? You know, I mean, if that's the way he feels, I mean, that's the way he feels, but you got to word that shit differently. You got to word it differently. So, I mean, he's had a few red flag comments over the last few weeks. It's kind of like raised my eyebrows a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and if anybody don't know the background with Jesse Leach, when he was originally in Killswitch, he had to step back for some mental health issues. He's definitely had a lot going on in life.
Yeah, he has
from the get go. So I mean, is he just in one of his phases with his mental health again, or what? We don't know, but let's hope that's not the case.
Yeah. But I mean, like I say, if he's got two projects going on, if he wants to, change things up, then he needs to do it in his side project. Leave Killswitch Engage alone. Leave them alone. Was that the only one that you had? Did you just do the one?
Actually, I checked out Resurrection Kings. They were.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they were a band from California. They were formed in 2015. Band members are Craig Goldie on bass and keyboards, Beanie Apiece on drums. So there you got a familiar name there, and Chaz West on vocals. So it's a little 3-piece. Actually, they got 4 people in the picture though. That's kind of weird. Maybe that's okay. Maybe I got you. So there's another guy on here, Sean McNabb. It says it's got a question mark. So I don't know if he's like on the outskirts of being out of the band or what's going on. But
maybe he was session musician.
Could have been or whatever. So he was an ex Queensryche, Dokken, Quiet Riot. So he could be. So it's got a lot of it could have been a lot of just a session guy. So
just a hired gun. Yeah.
Yeah, just a hired gun. Well, I mean, good for them. So,
no, that's fine. Yeah. Hell, super groups are basically nothing but a bunch of hired guns anyway. So
yeah, right. So this was their second full length album, Skygazer.
Ballgazer?
Actually, huh?
I was making a joke. You said Skygazer. I said Ballgazer.
Oh yeah. Only on the weekends in the park. So this one's 11 songs, 48 minutes, 44 seconds. Really got a late 80s, early 90s feel from this band. I guess, you got Vinny Apiece on drums. So,
right, yeah.
Could be why.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was really good. I liked it. I felt an Iron Maiden vibe from a lot of the songs on there. So it was definitely a good 80s, 90s vibe from the band, which I think is amazing. Like we were talking about one of the questions earlier about, do we think that, metal, how what the status of metal right now or whatever. Nelson was asking earlier. I can't remember actually how he said it, but yeah, so when you come across stuff like this, you say, oh, they sound 80s and 90s, it's kind of crazy to be in 2021 and saying that sound is still relevant, So So yeah, I don't think that that's
Yeah.
going anywhere anytime soon. So
No. Well, and the cool thing is we've run across and I can't name any names right off the top of my head, but doing this for the past 7 months like we have, I mean we've come across some bands who have either had like debut albums come out. Well, hell, Icon of Sin is one.
yeah,
Um, you know, that have either had their debut album or their sophomore album within the past, let's just say 1 to 5 years, who are basically just starting their careers, who are keeping that sound alive.
yeah,
And that's for one, it's important, and two, it just shows the staying power that sound has.
right. Yeah, but I'll go out. I'll go out and say this one had a little bit of everything. It was definitely like even the setup of like the tracks were kind of 80s and 90s because you had like the rip your face off guitars and you know
Mm-hmm.
double bass drums banging everywhere, and then all of a sudden like you'll get 4 or 5 songs in, and then it's calmed down. You got like the piano type ballady stuff
Oh
going
yeah,
on, and oh, it was just
yeah.
like so. It just reminded me so much of being a teenager again. I guess is why I liked it so much. But yeah, so I definitely going to go out and give this one a 3.5 out of 5. It was a really good album. I actually may even wind up adding this one to the collection. So
Yeah, well, that's good. I may have to check that one out myself. Let's see.
and I
I
think you got one
actually,
that I'm going to have to wind up checking out. So
yeah, I actually ended up being able to knock out two this week. I did. I was going to do this one last week, but it got pushed to this week for some reason. Still not 100% sure why, but that's neither here nor there. My formal review that I did Call of the Wild, the new album by Powerwolf. For those of you who don't know Powerwolf, they are a power metal band formed in 2004 in Saarbrücken, Germany. Their lyrical themes include werewolves, as you could guess by Powerwolf. But their lyrical themes include werewolves, dark myths, humor, religion, or horror, religion, sex, and humor. And in some songs, you get a combination of two or three. This is Powerwolf's actually their 10th full length album. Jason, I know you were reading a story earlier, and they had in there that it was the 8th album. So
right,
that one's not on you. That one's on the story. So
yeah,
this is actually their 10th album. Their debut album, Return in Bloodred, came out in 2005. Lupus Day came out in 2007. Bible of the Beast in 2009. Blood of the Saints in 2011. Preachers of the Night in 2013. Blessed and Possessed in 2015. The Sacrament of Sin in 2018. Metallum Nostrum in 2019, the Symphony of Sin in 2020, leading up to Call of the Wild this past year. So 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021, I mean, they've been cranking them out pretty regularly here over the last few years. You have Charles Greywolf on bass and guitars. You have Matthew Greywolf on guitars. You have Falk Maria Schlegel on keyboards. You have Attila Dorn on vocals. And you have Roel Van Helden on drums. So I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming most of those are stage names, but those are some badass stage names.
Yeah, what was that? What was the keyboardist? What was the keyboardist again?
Falk Maria Schlegel.
Well, I might after a couple of drinks,
I'm telling you, right? I'm telling you what. But yeah, so yeah, I've actually this isn't the first album I've heard by Powerwolf. I actually had downloaded a large amount of their back catalog a couple of years ago after I think it was after the Sacrament of Sin came out. I think it was that album, but it was when the single Demons Are a Girl's Best Friend came out. I can't remember what album that one's off of, but when that song came out, I really enjoyed that song. So I started checking out some of their other stuff after I heard that single that came out, and they're a pretty good, solid power metal band. My only knock against them, and it goes for this album too, is they've got a sound and a song structure that they stick to basically almost religiously, and sometimes it's to a fault. They kind of do that a little bit here in this album. Overall, I like the album. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. I wanted to give it a 4, but it almost got too formulaic, and there are a few songs on the album that are basically more or less just filler songs. So that kind of holds the album back a little bit. But
Mhm.
I do like I do like Powerwolf's sound. You know, they use that along with the power metal sound that they have, with as far as the guitar riffs and the drum lines and everything that they use as far as the composition of the overall songs. They use the pipe organ that you hear in church. So
Mhm.
they've got that. I love that instrument, because that instrument really adds an element of just power. Obviously, them being a power metal band, but it's a
Right.
powerful instrument, and it just adds another element to it. But Powerwolf also uses choral and symphonic accompaniment in their songs also. But the cool thing about it is they keep them in the background where I think they belong, so they don't
Right.
overpower. They don't overpower a lot of the songs. So I think the combination of everything really adds a cool power metal and gothic metal combination that works well for them. But like I say, they stick to that formula like to it. It's their bread and butter, and they stick with it.
Yeah.
But there's quite a few songs on this album. It's 11 songs altogether. Um, it's 11 songs, and it's 40 minutes, so it's a pretty quick listen. The longest song is like 4.5 minutes, so it's a pretty quick listen. You get through it pretty fast. Um, the first track, Faster Than the Flame, was 4 minutes and 8 seconds. Beast of Gévaudan was 3:31. Dancing with the Dead, 4:05. Varkolak at 3:52. Alive or Undead at 4:23. That was actually the ballad on this album, and I use it in quotes because Alive or Undead, it's talking about zombies, so it's not exactly a love song, but it is the ballad on the album. Then you had Blood for Blood, Feolad, which is actually, it was 3 minutes and 11 seconds, and it was probably the most different song on the album aside from the ballad, because that track right there. It sounded a little bit more of an Irish jig. It had some
Mhm.
bagpipes in it, so that was a little bit different. But that was really the only curveball on the album. Then you had Glaubenskraft, which was 3:56, and I don't know what that translates to in from German to English. I didn't look it up. And then you had the title track, track number 8 at 3:39. Track number 9, Sermon of Swords, was 3:18. Track number 10, Undressed to Confess, was 3 minutes and 31 seconds, and that song was hilarious. I'll have to see if I can find the lyric sheet for that song, but that track was hilarious. And then track number 11 was Reverent of Rats, and that was one of the kind of the filler throwaway songs. It was 2 minutes and 54 seconds, so it was kind of short, but I don't know. They kind of could have done without that one. I think it would have been fine. But Dancing with the Dead, Call of the Wild, and Undressed to Confess were probably my three favorite songs. I did like Alive or Undead, the ballad. The ballad overall, the pace of the album and the tempo of the album was really upbeat. I liked that, but like I say, there were a couple of filler songs they could have gotten rid of, and I think Powerwolf, they've had 10 albums, so obviously they're doing something right. But I think they should mix up the sound a little bit every now and then. They did have the one song, like I say, that had the bagpipes in it that sounded a little more Irish, which helped. But I did like the album overall. Like I say, I'm gonna give it 3.5 out of 5. It'll be one that I'll keep. And so yeah, so I would say I'm still a fan of theirs.
And
The other,
touch on that. You said that you like that Demons Are a Girl's Best Friend or whatever that was off of the Sacrament of Sin. So.
Okay, I did have. Okay, so that was basically the song and the album that originally introduced me to them. So that's that's the album that got me to download some of their other stuff. And I referenced I referenced the funny song on this new album, Undressed to Confess. There's another, and I don't remember what album this one was off of too, but they have a song called Resurrection by Erection.
Yes, I love that.
And it's exactly what you would think. Resurrection by erection. And by
Yeah.
erection, they're talking about exactly what it says. And that song is hilarious too. So if anybody out there listening, if you want to YouTube that song, it's a good song, but I mean it's definitely worth the listen to because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
So
The one that I have that on is Best of the Blessed. But it was I think that's a greatest hits kind of compilation
right,
that I
yeah.
took that I took it off of.
Yeah, but that's a funny that's a
It is a
funny as
funny
shit
song.
song
I love
too.
this.
It's hilarious. Yeah. So let's see. The other album that I was able to get all the way through was let's see, the new album by Space Chaser and their new album Give Us Life. They're actually a thrash metal band, also from Germany, but they were formed in Berlin in 2011. Their lyrical themes include aliens, zombies, alcohol, science fiction. It just says futuristic in general, and then dystopia, which is kind of futuristic at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually their third album. Their debut album, Watch the Skies, came out in 2014, Dead Sun Rising in 2016, and then Give Us Life came out, yesterday. This was a band I'd never heard of until yesterday, but they're a thrash metal band, and they've got that old school sound. There were different times throughout listening to the album. It was like, one song I was listening, and I don't remember the name of the tracks because like I was listening to it in my truck, so I was like, more focused on the road. But I was listening. I was like, all right, that sounded like Iced Earth. Okay, that sounded like early Metallica. That sounded like Anthrax. So they've got that early to mid 80s thrash sound, the really heavy guitars, the nice shredding guitar solos, a lot of the good galloping double bass and everything else. So I enjoyed this album as well. My only knock on this one is it's another one of those where somebody wasn't paying attention to the mix and they didn't have the vocalist turned up all the way, so he kind of gets drowned out by the music. It's a good thing that the music is good because it does drown out the singer, and it's unfortunate because Siegfried Rudzinski is the name of the vocalist, and he's got a hell of a voice, and it's drowned out by the music. So it's kind of disappointing in that respect because like I say, he sings well. A lot of the lyrics I really couldn't hear because they're being drowned out. I'm assuming the lyrics are put together well. So yeah, his vocal style is drowned out by the music, which is unfortunate, but I mean, the guitar work is good. The drum work is good. So overall, I would say I would probably give this a 4 out of 5 overall, with an asterisk by it. I'll give it a 4. Just based on the music, I would probably give it a full-fledged 4 if I could have heard the vocalist more. So, but yeah, two strong albums.
Yeah, maybe they'll remaster it like 10 years from now.
Let's hope, because like I say, somebody was falling asleep on the mixing board and had the singer not turned up enough.
Yeah, something.
Right,
yeah.
They do need to get better production value, Michelle. You're right. So because they're a band,
Well, I mean,
they're a band that I could definitely see making it if they get the audio quality done right.
But we've talked about this like over and over. We've listened to stuff like we'll get the album list and we'll pick what we want to do, and then we'll check out one of the other albums, out by the fire or something one night, and we'll listen to it, and then they'll have this like great start out with the beats and stuff, and then all of a sudden, dude sings, and it's like, He's in a damn coffee can. You know, it's like
Yeah,
it's
you
like
can't. You
what
either
the hell, man?
yeah you either can't understand him or you just can't hear him.
Yeah. So I mean, it was
It's
almost
one
like
of it's one or the other. Yeah, it's
it's
like I
almost like
know
that.
he's singing. I can hear him
Right.
singing, but yeah, but I can't make out what he's saying,
Yeah.
or it's just so it and it's unfortunate because we have come across some bands, and of course, we've said this before. We're not Jason and I. We're not death metal guys, but that whole vocal style aside, we've come across some bands that have sounded really good that have had an issue with, yeah, like you said, the production value. Michelle, you
Yeah.
brought that up.
Exactly.
The production value kind of hinders the overall quality of the album, and it's really unfortunate.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's our four. If we happen to listen to anything else, we can also add that to the Facebook page as a extra review if we come across anything else that and listen to over the weekend. But man, we
Yeah,
had a lengthy show today. I appreciate
yeah, and let's
all the
yeah.
interactions, man. It's been awesome.
Yeah, Nazem and Michelle, it's been great having you guys here. Nazem, especially you asking us the questions. That was awesome. Uh, more of that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's wrap this sucker up real quick. Let me go over the upcoming releases for this
Yeah.
coming Friday real quick, and then we'll put a bow on this thing. So July 23rd, 2021. Leading off, we've got Capstan with Separate. We have Craven Idol with Forked Tongues. We have Descendants with Ninth and Walnut. We have Dream Theater with Lost Not Forgotten Archives, a dramatic tour of events, select board mixes. I'm assuming that's either a re-release or a compilation. We have Eradicator with Influence Denied. We have Erdve with Sevi Gaila, I think. I don't know. I may have pronounced that wrong. I'm not sure. We have God's Slave with Positive Aggressive. We have Heavy Water with Red Brick City. We have Hookers and Blow with Hookers and Blow. We have Lee Aaron with Radio On. We have Mr. Big with Lean Into It. That's a 30th anniversary edition. We have Sleepwalker with Alias. We have Tantric with the Sum of All Things. I didn't even know Tantric was still around. And
Yeah.
then we have Ingve Malmsteen with Parabellum. So those are the new releases for next Friday, July 23rd of 2021. So I'm looking forward to a couple of those.
Yeah. So just to reach out, Michelle asked. We are. She said noon on Saturdays. I don't know what time zone you're in, but it is 10 Central. Um, so that's 11 Eastern. What is it? 8 Pacific, yeah. I think. So I'm not sure what time.
I think it would be 8.
Eastern. I'm in Cleveland here, so it would be 11 Eastern. So.
Yeah, California is 2 hours behind us. Yes, so
yes, California's 2 hours. Yeah,
yeah,
but yeah. So yes, and the Metalheads Facebook page, it will look like the picture you see in the middle of me and Chris here. But and it's there's actually it's crazy. I've told this story before, but that picture was actually taken from a friend of mine's Facebook page that they actually went to that show, and I took that picture and asked them, could I take that picture? And they said yes. And then I look and there's somebody else that has the same picture on a Facebook page. I say, I guess they're friends with more than one people, so I can't say that, but whatever. But I do have one from a Machine Head show that I'm going to replace it with, but I won't do that since you guys are looking for that right now. But yeah, so it'll look like that, and there's like 201 members. Is that right, Chris?
Yeah, we're currently up to 201 members.
Okay.
Yes.
So maybe that'll narrow it down some if you see that picture and then it says 201 members, and we are pretty active. So, Tangerine. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, so awesome. So yeah, feel free to go by and like the page, and we'll invite you into the group. All that good stuff, where you can stay on top of the content. Actually, whenever we go live here, it goes over to the Facebook page and lets everybody know. So if you're on that and just want to click the link from there, you can come right here. So, all All right, man. Great show. I enjoyed
Yeah.
today. It was awesome.
Yeah, this one,
Uh,
I mean, they're all fun, but
oh
this one
yeah.
was yeah, we had a little bit of a curveball with all of the people coming by and asking us questions, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, if we
that
could
was a great
if
curveball. I loved it.
yeah, if we could do that and have like 15, 20 people conversating over here, we could have a show just like that. And
Absolutely.
not even like go over a lot of the content. But yeah, it's awesome. I appreciate the platform letting us go over a little bit today. I
Yeah.
apologize that
Yeah, it was awesome.
it was yeah, didn't mean to, but that's you know awesome that they let us do that. So appreciate
Yeah,
that.
we had a Bob Ross happy accident today, so that was totally
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, right.
And
uh,
thanks to Michelle and to Nazem for that. We appreciate
yeah,
that. We appreciate everybody who listened to the show today, and we also appreciate everybody who checks out the show after the fact on the rebroadcast. We appreciate you guys, listening whenever you're able to listen, whether it's live or
yeah.
after the fact.
Yeah, and just heads up, there's some big things in the works with the platform, and as soon as we can relay that information, we will. So just
Absolutely.
keep in tune and tune in for that. Anything else you got, Chris? Or?
That's pretty much it, man. Like I say, we can put a bow on this thing.
All right.
And once again, we want to thank everybody for stopping by.
Oh, most definitely.
We appreciate you. We appreciate all you guys.
And with that being said, till next week, you guys keep those horns held high and you jump in that pit anytime you can. We will see you guys right here next week. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you guys. Have a great week.
I feel like we should do like that after news where they just like sit here and look like they're talking to one another.
Yeah, like shuffle some papers around. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
oh, wait, hang on. I can actually do that. Hang on, I can.
Oh
Do
yeah.
that.
Okay.
Got my notes. Like, shuffle my notes around. Yeah, shuffle my notes. Shuffle my notes. Yeah. What we need to do is because you remember on Anchorman they had that thing where they were doing that where Will Ferrell and Christina Applegate, they were talking shit to each other during the closing credits, but the people the people watching the TV, they could just see the credits scrolling.
Yeah.
I think they were calling each other names and shit. They were talking shit to each other, and like Will Ferrell said, "I'm going to punch you right in the vagina" or some shit like that.
That's just great.
I'm Ron Burgundy. Go fuck yourself, San Diego. It was a great movie.
Yeah. So I say like I would be down if somebody would do a show like that on the platform too, because I'm a big movie buff. So
yeah,
I love to get on there and talk about movies, but I don't have time to put it together myself because we spend too much time with this. So
yeah. Well, when this thing blows up and we can do this full time, we can have a little side project show.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Well, hopefully that happens. We'll see.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I guess Dan doesn't know we're done.
He was just on here, so I mean,
or he's literally just going to let us talk forever.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Yeah, he's just like, what's up? Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
I did forget to congratulate that the Jerry Fowler. He won a signed Jackson guitar giveaway from Death Angel, which is pretty cool.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah. So I forgot to mention that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you technically did just mention it, but I mean, you can.
I guess so.
We are still. Yes. I mean, we're still live. So anyone still hanging around will will hear it. But I mean, you can hold it over until next week and officially congratulate him for winning the contest.
And then also, I forgot to mention Record Store Day today. God dang it! Yeah, man, that conversation threw me all off today. It's like, wow.
Yeah, but like I say, that was a cool thing.
Yeah, Lamb of God actually has a 10th anniversary vinyl as the Palaces Burn. It's like a red album, like the actual album itself is red. It's pretty cool looking. I don't know if I can push it up there to where you can see or anything, but
oh yeah. I did see that. I think Susie posted it. Didn't Susie?
Oh,
post
she did.
It?
Yeah, she did actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm kind of glad I went back and looked at that because I had forgotten myself until I was just looking at some of the news stuff. I was like, oh, I didn't mention that. Oh, I didn't mention that. Shit. So I'm definitely going to go out to the record store here in a little bit and check some stuff out myself.
Yeah. Do you have Dan's number?
I'm fixing to message him. Yeah.
Right now we're kind of like the stove. He kind of left on.
Did I leave the
Did I leave the stove on?
Shit. Did I leave the stove on?
Yeah, like from Deadpool. Yeah, from Deadpool. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
That guy was already up there when I got here.
That's right. Yeah, don't blame me.
Oh, this is funny.
I said, hey, we're done, LOL.
Yeah, we're finished.
Yeah, he's seen it. So he's just like,
the funny thing is
he wasn't listening.
Yeah, the funny thing is he probably saw it 15 minutes ago. He's like, fuck it, let it roll.
Yeah. Fuck it. I can hear him actually saying that.
Oh yeah, I can totally hear him saying it. Fuck it, let it roll.
I thought you guys were still talking, man.
Yeah, we were.
We are. Right, we're just not talking about the show anymore. We're just bullshitting.
Yeah, right now we're trying to make sure right now we're trying to just fill any dead air. That's all we're trying to do right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, there he is. There he is.
Sorry, that's my fault. I had to step away for a minute, but
yeah, no, you're good, man.
Yeah, all right. I thought you were still on here because it said you commented like a little while ago, and I was like, oh, he's on here, so he's waiting on us.
No, I was just checking in, but it's good. So we will end your show now. So goodbye, everybody, and thank you to all the people who tuned into this fucking kick-ass show. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys.